By the way, real quick, Far is banned from everything.
I'm not surprised,
Everything,
but what particularly
everything
happened?
ever. Her fucking slabs kept going off during my show, and it's only her slabs where it just repeats and repeats.
Far was testing her donations.
No, dude. When was she testing them?
When you were streaming?
It was hidden on a scene in the far back. Like I had to turn my shit to studio mode and find the scene. So I don't know what happened, but she's banned. Far is banned from everything.
Everything.
I had to remove every trace.
But Far's banned from everything.
Yay, I got it.
You got it?
I got it. Hello, welcome to Denny's.
We're here.
Welcome to Denny's.
Welcome to Denny's once again.
May I take your order? No.
This is the last time I'll be here in Denny's.
So, there we go. Yeah, how are we?
How is chat?
How are we? All apparently 0 concurrent viewers. I don't trust the back end.
I also don't trust the back end.
Oh man, yeah, it's telling me there's 0 people here. And it's like, no. Oh no, now it's saying 2. Now it's saying it's so bad.
It's so rough. YouTube can, yeah.
Daddy.
Yeah, but I'm probably gonna start honestly need to do what? Oh,
Thank you.
there we go.
Thank
Okay.
you. My
have
flash
to-
suit has been drenched right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
What?
Did
It was
you?
2 weeks ago you were banned, Plat.
What was I getting
What?
banned for?
What was I banning her for? What?
What was I gonna be banned for?
I don't remember saying anything of the kind.
It's possible she said it.
It's possible I said it, I just forgot. I do
Very
be like that.
possible.
So yeah, Zig's here. That platypus person, whoever
Yes.
she is. What
I have no
is it?
idea who that is.
Yeah,
at all.
sounds like a bitch.
There's no
Vicente
person.
is here. Nice. And Potato is at a baseball game.
I just want to thank God I don't have my earphones. Why? Are you playing us out loud? So the entire stadium can hear?
Hello, stadium. The Brisbane Bandits suck.
Apparently they do. Oh my God.
Ah.
Alright, again.
All right.
This is gonna be
This is
really
gonna-
fun. Okay, this is one of our jankest. This is
No,
jank.
I would not call this the
It's,
jankest.
it's not jank in the normal way. However, it's brought about new issues completely and totally. Oh my.
I don't think this is new. This is an issue we've had before.
Yes.
Like, yeah, we're doing our best, but
And yeah, YouTube sure is wonky today. That is
it
correct.
sure is. Like, holy fuck, this is not the first time I've seen it on the back end. I guess to go into back end stuff, right, of YouTube shenanigans. This is not the first time I've looked at the back end of a stream, right, and it's told me, yeah, there's 0 people viewing you.
Mhm.
And I have people in chat that I know are there.
Yeah.
It just hasn't happened in a while, and I think it happens on streams where there's not many people viewing.
Mhm.
I think that's what it's just one of those wonky ass things that happens like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Perth Heat? That's the name? It could be worse.
I've heard of worse names.
I've
I've
definitely
heard of worse Perth names specifically.
There's also, you know,
What's the basketball team
I
called?
mean, there's also, you could be the Cleveland Browns. They're just called the Browns.
That is such a terrible name.
It's really bad.
Team name. What? I feel like this is worse. Perth Link. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Lynx is...
That's not the one I'm thinking of.
Lynx isn't terrible.
No, maybe it's a bit doxy. I don't know. I'm thinking of a specific team, and I don't want to say it. But like, I thought it was the Perth team, but I guess not. It's just it. Gotta go. My friends are bullying me for watching. If only you knew what it was like to have friends. I wrote, "Fuck you, Potato. Have fun.
Fuck you.
Fuck you."
You potato. We're in the same room together. I have friends. I just married a friend, that's all.
I just married a friend. Is that what you think of me?
I mean, If I didn't think of you as a friend, I probably wouldn't have stuck around you for so long. You, friends. Friends who signed a marriage certificate.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Fucking wow. If I cover the thing, it seems to
Oh, okay.
do the same thing, so it's okay. It's okay. So,
This thing has a real trouble seeing my eyes from that distance. But that's okay.
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. If we need to, just drag it close.
I'd imagine what's gonna happen on our group trip for Japan later on.
Oh god.
I wonder if we're gonna do like a giant, like everyone piles in the same fucking hotel room and starts screaming at each other.
I don't know if we could.
I don't know.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Plus, these hotel rooms in Japan have all been so small.
Well, that's not why I think that would be a terrible idea.
Well,
I think physical fight would actually break out.
I would probably beat the shit out of Fritz for
Exactly. Exactly. Like, I don't think we could do that without having a physical altercation.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
I'm pretty sure that Fritz will
He will
Fritz
test our
end up
patience.
he will catch at least a fist from me at some point. IRL.
What,
Now-
buckshot
now
roulette
here's the
isn't getting
funny
it out of
thing.
your system?
I'm also planning to teach him shooting.
Laddie.
There is no Dick Cheney gonna happen here. Don't worry about that.
Laddie.
Look, he's never shot a gun in his life. I need to make him.
Yeah, but the man also never had a hamburger. He's a fucking weirdo.
He is a weirdo.
He never had a pizza, he never had a hamburger, or a cheeseburger, or whatever the fuck, a burger. How does, how? How?
How? Great
How?
question.
Oh.
Gone to a hot spring or a bathhouse? You did the.
I did the onsen at the hotel at Hakodate.
Uh,
Laddie didn't.
No.
Laddie did not.
I can't.
No, she can't.
I am self-respecting enough to not.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. No, she just doesn't
there's
do that.
just circumstances not allowed.
Yeah. But we did do a thing today.
Oh,
Do we
yeah.
want to get into that?
Do we want to just dive right?
Do we want to just...
Or do we want to like go over like?
Do we want to like... Do we want to like build up into like the you know, the story of how we even came across this thing
I mean,
in the wild?
we were just kind of hanging out over there. Like, it's gonna say where.
It's gonna say where, so I don't really give a shit. We were at Daiba.
Yeah, Daiba.
We were at Daiba.
We went to go see the giant Gundam again.
Yeah, again, it's very cool. It's
Unicorn
very neat.
Gundam, very cool. It
Very
had a
neat.
different head on today.
It had more of a horn. But, yeah, so we were there. We were looking for crane game machines, right? My continuing kind of hopeless quest to find a very specific one.
Yes.
I'm
We
giving up on that.
suffice to say, we went to 2 different crane game things in Daiba specifically. Went to a Mr. Donut, sat down and went, what do we do next? Do we want to go hunting for more crane games or no? And then it's basically just said, we just like, nah,
Yeah,
we're not gonna find anything new. Everything's been the same.
Yeah, so I look at maps, right? As I usually do, and I go, oh, there's a museum. It's right there. Right next to us, within walking distance. You want to go, Flatty? And,
I mean, it sounded interesting.
the thing is, we've done this so many times on this trip, and previously a little bit as well.
Yeah, the
where it's
previous
just like,
trips.
oh, look, there's a museum. Let's go to
Let's
it.
just go to a museum.
Let's just go to it, and it's usually a good time.
Yeah.
I don't think before this we've ever really had like a 100% just terrible time.
No, there's been a few rough ones, but
I mean, the teddy bear museum is still fucking hilarious.
that
Like,
was like
it's just like,
genuinely still have I couldn't bring my phone out to check because they don't allow.
yeah, they don't have pictures, so we
They
can
don't-
take a
but-
picture of it. But you have to just trust us on this, right?
There was a literal landmine.
Yeah, this is,
Inert landmine, probably inert, most likely inert. Could not have.
I don't think it would have been live. I don't think it
It
would
was
be.
live, but it was a literal landmine just chilling
Yeah,
And then
just
they showed a photo of a bunch of landmines in a hole.
Yeah, and because we don't know enough Japanese to really get the context of it, I mean, you can't take a photo out to take a picture of it, to translate it.
Fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah, we just don't know. It was just...
That was probably... I mean, some of those teddy bears were horrifying, too.
Oh god, yeah, like, I genuinely wish we could have taken pictures, but...
There was the one with the baby face underneath the teddy bear. Like,
Yeah!
that is horrifying in and of itself. A teddy bear just has a child inside of it.
Yeah.
Don't you know, guys?
Yeah, it's just all teddy bears. They just all have children inside of them. Don't worry about it. But yeah, we've been to a couple like that, right? Where it's just... Like, even the tiniest, you usually have something that's like, you come away from it, again, like the teddy bear museum, right? Of like, why the fuck was there a landmine? We don't know. We don't know enough Japanese to be able to tell you either. Haven't been able to translate it. Or take pictures, but you just trust us. It's there.
Trust us, it's there.
Trust us, it's there. Go to Hakadate, Hokkaido, and go to the teddy bear museum. Just fucking trust me. It's there.
Yeah, it's in the red brick warehouses area.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, just fucking trust us. So yeah, even in like the most minuscule ones, we usually find something, right? Where it's like, yeah, this is fine. This is interesting. This one is kind of included in that, of like, well, at least it was interesting. But it's in probably the worst way that we've had yet. Like, we have thoughts.
We have a lot of thoughts.
We have a lot of thoughts, and we've been kind of holding back on talking about it with each other, because we were like, at a certain point after we were talking about it, we were like, you know, maybe just save this until we're live, right? Because we were already planning on doing this tonight, you know?
Fucking trigger warning. Opinions are going to be said. Opinions
are going to be thrown out left, right, and center,
probably,
and
politics as well. So get ready.
I don't like doing that, you know. I don't fucking like going this route.
No.
But at the same time, enough if you see Kirsch's shit.
We've been watching a lot of
Kirsch's
Kirsch's stuff.
Like, well, not just that, but enough if you see Kirsch's shit where it's like, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem, necessarily.
Is much more tame.
I just don't like doing this.
Maybe.
I just don't like talking about a lot of this sort of stuff, because it's like... It's not fun.
No.
It's not fun. I mean, it's fun to kind of, like, bounce it off each other like this, but it's like... It's more depressing, if anything.
Sometimes it really is.
Like, it's just this, and this in particular is kind of depressing, because, I'm gonna preface this by saying this, right? This was one of the things I wanted to say, but, like, I kind of held back, because I'm like, no, we need to talk about this live. This makes me feel, oh my god.
Basically, we just went and absorbed and kind of just, like, generally spoke, but... And then
we reached a point where we both kind of went, like...
We gotta hold it. We gotta hold it in.
Yeah, we gotta save this. But, the thing I want to bring up before we actually look at any of this stuff is, when we were there, right? I didn't see that many adults. Like, we did. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we did see some. There was a lot of younger people, though, and a lot of
school children. Like, and you could tell by the hats and the clothing that they were wearing. Specifically the hats, because it's the elementary child hat, if you know what we're talking about in that sense. So, that's kind of one of the more things with this place where I'm like, I don't think this is a place where adults are really supposed to be going. Like, as much as it is open to the public, I don't think this is really for us.
Yeah.
And a lot of the exhibits as well were very child-oriented.
Yes.
So that doubles up as, wow, this really is not for us. But, in saying that, though, I think that kind of speaks to what this place was trying to be and trying to do, which just makes it so much fucking worse.
Yeah.
Just so much fucking worse. And it's not the worst thing I've ever seen in terms of, I'm gonna say it real straight, propaganda.
Yeah.
Like, straight up fucking propaganda. Like, in some cases. In some cases, it was just cool space shit, right? In one instance, it was like, oh, okay, I actually kind of like that. I liked seeing the fucking satellite landing on the asteroid and taking the samples. That was neat.
That was the neat part.
Neat. When they actually just focused on just...
Scientific
just cool shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like
the
robots.
hourglass.
The
Well,
hourglass and some of
capacitors.
the robots as well, like, that was the cool shit. But then once they started focusing on stuff where it was, like, more speculative,
Yes.
that's when it was like, are we really doing this? Are we really fucking doing this?
Before we get too far. Hi, Duck Dog. It's been a while.
Welcome to the violence stream. We woke up and chose violence, like Vicente just said.
Vicente is correct.
He is-
We
he is
indeed
correct.
choose violence today.
We kind of did, but to be fair,
It
right?
was an accidental violence, but violence nonetheless.
Yeah, like, to be fair, like, we had no idea going in that this is what this was going to be.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So this was going to happen one way or the other, just not this topic.
It was literally the first exhibit we went through, and Far looks at me and goes, "Well, we know what we're talking about then."
No, it was the second one, because the first one was the first floor, right, with the go-kart?
Yeah, that one was okay.
That was fine, but that was like,
it was silly, but...
No, but that was like an example of what I was talking about, of like, this is obviously for children.
Yeah,
Right?
you
Because I
definitely couldn't.
slid into the go-kart thing, right? Like, so they had like a virtual go-kart, right?
It's like going
Where
to the
you
telephone
sat-
booth. Well, why don't we go ahead and like
Yeah.
actually see what this
But,
museum
yeah,
is?
yeah. So this is called, God, what's the actual name of it again? The Mirai.
Museum of...
It's the Future Museum, but it was called the Mirai something or other. And Mirai in Japanese means future. So I should have known that was.
It was the science of... It was the Museum of Emerging Science and something.
Yeah, one minute. Let me. Mirai. The National Museum.
Yeah, we
of...
have a Museum of Water.
Yeah,
it's like going to
Mirai-kan.
the telephone museum. Nobody should go there.
Well, I would find a telephone museum far more fascinating, to be honest. Like, I mean, than a fucking pipes museum, because yeah, we've seen that one around too. We haven't gone. We have not gone, but that exists.
We did see that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is for a specific brand of autism
Yeah.
that neither of us have.
Yeah, like we are not pipe autists, my god. But
I'm
that exists.
looking forward to the trains out of...
And we saw birds instead.
We saw birds instead. The birds were cool. I got to listen to the fucking Ibis song.
Yeah, the Ibis song, yeah. It's the Ibis, binge juice drinking grunts.
Gosh. It's the Ibis.
Yeah, they suck.
You
yeah.
found it.
Yeah, Binchooks suck. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, it is the National Museum of Emerging Science and Innovation, the Mirai-kan, and I should have known from the Mirai a bit, like, and from the rest of that, to be honest, the long name,
Mhm.
that yeah, there was going to be some speculative bullshit in here.
So,
But I didn't think about it. I just thought, oh, that's a museum.
why don't we just go through bit by bit, because our...
Yeah, I
kids
only
is
started
probably-
taking pictures after a certain point.
Yeah.
I took a picture of the hourglass thing. That was the first picture because I was like, oh, that's actually genuinely neat.
Right? So, basically... it was-
But the first actual picture where I started taking pictures of it and going, I need to document this was, well,
Do you actually... Are you going to actually bring up some of this?
yes. So this is the end. That's the end.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so this is what we're talking about first, alright? So I'm gonna...
No thinking.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, I've got screen share on.
Look at you.
Yeah? Yeah? I gotta fix it though.
Oh yeah, it's kind of...
Yeah, because I did
I'm
not,
not layered.
omnit.
Or it's not layered.
Yeah, I kind of fucked up on that, but that's fine!
Yeah, look, you guys
That's
get actual
fine.
photos.
Yeah, you guys are getting photos, like,
As in
wow,
a
look at
train
this.
museum, you could sit in a caboose. Oh, that sounds cute.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I love train museums, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's just, we ended up seeing a bird exhibit instead. That, like, we thought it was trains, but we got birds. But yeah, this is, so all those things at the top here, is my mouse shut? Yes, it is. Okay, thank God. Thank God.
Uh-huh.
I just need to be able to see both. So yeah, all these, what were they again?
Capacitors.
Capacitors.
They're just tiny little capacitors.
And it's going down in this hourglass.
It's like little
sand.
Sand thing. It's little capacitors the size of sand. It's so tiny.
It's so tiny, and it was kind of cool. Behind this, to like the left here, there was a bunch of robots. I did not take pictures of the robots because I was kind of... Some of these pictures I was kind of hesitating because there were... I'm not exaggerating. There was like at least 3 different school groups going on
There
here.
were a lot of kids around.
Yeah, and keep that in mind as well. Like when we're going through this stuff, yeah, the amount of children going through this and I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing, but I'm just saying I'm a little bit concerned considering some of the
like
stuff
Zig
here.
said, that is cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
this
Like,
is cool. There
that
was
is
cool shit here.
genuinely cool.
Like there was cool shit here. Like
The robots thing was a little.
The robots thing was like a borderline, right? That was the start of it, where we're kind of like,
This is a little awkward because it basically like it was some like, okay, here's some interesting interactions with like
with robots.
with robots.
Yeah, like they
You
had
have
the seal.
you have the soft grip thing. You have the fucking the little bone things that are
Yeah, which refused to talk to us.
Yeah,
They
because
refused to fucking talk to us, and
because they don't deal with foreigners.
no, they do because they have all like the signs saying, "Yeah, talk to them" and all that. Why would you have the sign saying, "Yeah, talk to the robots" if they're not meant to be interacting with in English?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah, that's a little fucking weird. I just think those robots were racist.
They didn't like the pale white.
They did not like the blue-eyed people talking to them. They did not like that. They did not like the white people talking to the robots. But like, yeah, they had the cool robots. They had one, like, no, two there where it was like, yeah, these are future companions, and the implication. I wish I'd taken a picture of the text because some of this I have taken pictures of the text, right? I think the next picture I have is actually one of those where I took a picture of just the text, just to be like, I don't like where this is going. On those robots, they had basically the implication of these will replace living pets.
Living pets, yes.
Yeah, these will be your companions in the future, and you will like it.
It was...
And it was like, that's not... I mean, these are cool and all, but I would not... No.
Hey,
No.
Banana.
Sorry?
Hold on, it's not Friday is what he said. Hello there. Hi, Banana, how you doing?
Banana. Hello.
Like, no,
welcome.
the capacitors
Yeah, the
being...
pieces were fucking awesome.
That was cool. That was
cool. I
Genuinely
like some of the
awesome.
robots, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't like the implication that someday
Okay,
I
well,
cannot have a pet that is an actual fucking creature. I don't like that. I don't like being told basically you will have the robot and you will like it.
Yes.
That's not okay for me. That's not okay by me. But yeah,
Careful.
fucking damn it. So yeah, these capacitors. Next.
Oh yeah, we're getting into the crazy stuff.
So this is actually where I think I turned to Claudia well, I think I know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Let me computers can take giant sets of images, pinpoint the sort of subtle features that humans would never be able to articulate. Moreover, they learn from the features they discover, and even create new images based on their learnings. The computer-generated letters, human faces, and plant life you see here don't actually exist in the real world, but we might consider them a new form of nature, abiding by the laws of computation. This isn't even coming from, like, I mean, I guess this is coming from an artist's perspective, but it's also just coming from a straight-up, like, perspective of, like, what the fuck do you mean? Features that humans would never be able to articulate. What the fuck do you mean by that? Have you seen the people that paint photorealism? This is, like, photorealism type art is nothing fucking new either. Have you seen, like, fucking Renaissance art stuff?
Some of the things that they created back then were crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck do you mean by would never be able to articulate subtle features? People have been doing this for fucking centuries. Are you fucking retarded? And yeah, I'm gonna just full on say retarded because I don't care anymore. The paradigm shift has happened, guys. Retarded is okay now. But, oh my god,
I've noticed a lot more. There, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god, it
Yeah, it's...
there.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I just don't fucking buy it. And what this was, actually, do I have a picture? Yes. So these, I kind of wish I'd taken a video of it, but at the same time, I just wanted to move on, because I was already like, what are we doing here?
She was already like, I don't want anything.
I don't want anything to do with this. But, yeah, so what these are is, pictures that were, like, morphing into other things.
Yeah.
And it was obviously AI done, and yeah, these are all AI generated images and stuff like that, right? Okay. Okay. Alright. I mean, I don't have a problem with the display necessarily, because I kind of... It's like, okay, yeah, this is actually one of the okay applications of AI art, in my opinion. Of, like, cycling through images, making it go, okay, now go here and here. It's actually using it as a fucking tool.
Yeah.
Even if the images are generated, okay, the fact that you're setting it up to go, now transition into this and transition into this, you're using it as a tool. There is human input going in that. That's fine, alright? I don't like the implication that you're just giving it up to the machine.
Yes.
And that, yeah, they can do it better. I don't like this. But this was the beginning, okay? This was the beginning. That's... Why is it going back to the capacitor?
Because that's all. That's.
That's the 3 sets. Right, so after that, I'll just leave it up on that. Because I didn't take a picture of this either. They had the, yeah, we're using AI to, add color to black and white film.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Where, yeah, they, two of their 3 examples that they used for this, right? Weren't even originally black and white films. One of them was Gone with the Wind, which is in color. Which is in fucking color. But they turned it to grayscale and then went, yeah, let's add our AI filter to this to give it 3 different types of color grading.
Yeah.
3 different fucking types. And they did the same for another film. I don't remember the title of it, but I remember very distinctly they called it the first full-length Technicolor film. Same treatment. The only film that they used as an example of this technique that was actually black and white is the Lumiere brothers going to the moon. And it looked horrible.
Yeah, it did.
It looked like fucking garbage because that film was never made to be color. And if you were going to do it, it needs to be a hell of a lot more subtle than it actually fucking was. But my fucking god, and the thing that pissed me off about it is the fact that we already have techniques for that. You don't need to use AI for that. We already have techniques for it. And they look better than the 3 different color grading things. Because they couldn't even decide what colors they wanted to use.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you heard of, is the dress blue and black or white and gold? You ever heard of that one? Yeah, we'll get a load of Scarlet's dress and Gone with the Wind. It could be light pink, green, blue. Like, why are we doing this?
We're reinventing the wheel back, but it's a square wheel.
Yeah, like that was just my thing that I kept kind of coming back to. It was like, why are we doing this?
Oh, we already have better techniques, clearly. Like, maybe it'll take a while.
Yeah, maybe, I think they do, but at the same time, it's like, so you want to speed up the process. Okay, go away with that. Go do that. Go fucking do that. Knock yourself out.
Seems like you've reinvented it and you've gone backwards.
Yeah, like, it looked... I cannot begin to just...
Color in space.
I cannot even begin to just describe how absolutely god-awful ugly the to the moon thing looked.
It was really bad.
It was fucking awful. I don't think I've ever seen the moon landing scene from that film. Looks so ugly.
It really did look bad.
Yeah, like, holy fuck, guys, just, wow, well done. But and then after that, there were these. And this is where I kind of just lost my fucking mind.
So that looks like an image, right? But it's basically like...
It zooms in, and then Hatsune Miku starts talking to you, and it looks a hell of a lot like they used live 2D cubism to animate it. She was not the only one there. There were other portraits they had that were doing basically the same thing, right? But she is the most insidious. Simply because I do like Vocaloids, alright? I adore them, right? Some of my early internet memories are me looking at Vocaloid songs, right? Like, it has been a thing for me for a very long time. I mean, for example, my favorite Vocaloid, just for the sheer absurdity of it, is Teto, and she's not even technically a Vocaloid, really. But she is now, but not really. At the same time.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Okay.
But yeah, so I have a deep love for Vocaloids, right? And they are tools, though. They are artificial singers, and they are tools, but people are making the songs behind them. Now, why am I saying it like this?
Yes.
Why am I being very specific when I say they are tools, and people are still behind them when they make these songs? Because Krypton Media here, because it says at the bottom there, I don't know if it comes up really that well in the image,
I sure as hell can't see it.
no, I mean, if I zoomed in, if I bothered to zoom in, Krypton Media has actually allowed the usage of this, and I'm pretty sure they probably had some hand in it. I'm not really sure how much of a hand they would have had in it, but I don't think they would have released it without, being fully aware of what was being said here. They basically said, hello, my name is Hatsune Miku, and I'm an electronic singer, and I've been, blah blah blah, and many songs made by known and unknown artists, blah blah blah, heard around the world, blah 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 blah. Then they had her saying stuff along the lines of, yeah, wouldn't it be great if someday we removed the human element from Vocaloid and it was all AI generated? Like, I'm being very blunt with it, right?
It was very...
But that's
wasn't
what she
as
was
subtle.
saying.
Yeah, no, legitimately.
Like, I'm not being that far off of what was being said, but,
No,
like...
it was legitimately, basically, if machines could do that, like, wouldn't it be amazing if machines could do everything humans could do?
Yeah.
And just, remove the human element completely?
Yeah, and I just, like... fucking lost my mind at that, because I'm just like... what the actual fuck am I witnessing here? You are using Miku Hatsune to basically try and tell people, yeah, you're not needed. Your creativity and your vision and whatever you want to make, yeah, you're not needed. The machines will replace you and you'll be happy.
So there was a
like, it
fair
was just
bit.
one of those moments for me where I'm just like, I am so fucking disappointed.
I was finding there was a lot of messaging in there that was like replacing
People.
people with machine companions or machine things or
Yeah, that was the start of it, and that was where we were both kind of like, this is a bit weird. Huh, okay. I mean, I like robots. I do. I adore robot things. I do. But this was like, I don't think I like them in this sense. Of them being pushed to replace people, or just animal companions. Like, holy fuck, how sad is that?
That one's a little, yeah.
Yeah, how fucking sad is that? It's like, here, this created Furby will replace your dog. Like, how fucking sad is that? But this was like the one that really just made my blood boil of just, oh my fucking god.
Duck Dog says it's like virtuosity, where they create the evil AI by feeding it serial killer personalities.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. There was once
so we stepped away from this, right?
We got such a tone for that, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was the tone. And then, do you have a picture of the globe or
no? I don't think I got a pic. I might. No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, my next pictures are not of the globe.
So the next thing we did was watch
So we stepped away from Miku Hatsune telling us that she is the future and humans are going to be obsolete. And because, yeah, I was just pissed at this point of like, oh my fucking god, really, Krypton Media? Fucking really? You're doing this? Holy shit. So, sorry, I'm still mad about it. The rage is returning.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I love Vocaloids, and this just feels like such, I don't know, like a rug pull almost of like, is this what you really think?
Is this what you've been trying to do?
Yeah, is this what you really think of the, like, because Vocaloid stuff is so fucking creative.
Yeah.
And we'll move on in a sec. It's just, I feel like I really need to just
no,
let it go, right?
Let it out.
I need to let this out, right? Vocaloid stuff is just so creative because of the people behind it. I don't think an AI would be able to create Rolling Girl.
No.
Rolling Girl is an old one. It's one of the old Vocaloid songs, but it is still top tier to this day. Even if it admittedly is pretty much just emo girl music. Like, I fully admit it.
Yeah.
Fully fucking admit it. But,
There you go.
thank you. But, even saying that though, like, fucking Rolling Girl is fantastic. I don't think an AI would be able to create that. Not because of, like, the human soul behind it necessarily, but just because of how well put together it is. I don't think they'd be able to recreate the emotion that goes into that, even if it is just a digital program singing. There is an amount of an emotion in that. I just don't think they'd be able to replicate it. So this feels like, and not just that, but like monitoring, which is a newer one.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
That was a good one.
I just don't think that you can do that. If you just let the machine do it, yeah, it'll sound great, it'll sound pretty, but the meaning is gone. All the meaning, like, in these songs is just fucking gone if you let the machine take over.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's something that a lot of people understand, of like, this is why I don't like AI art. It's not necessarily, I mean, a part of it is like, yeah, you're gonna replace artists, but like, that's not the big part for me. It's the fact of like, the creativity is gone. The incentive to actually make something,
Be creative yourself.
yeah, it's gone, because now you can just push a button and hey, yeah, presto. There's an
Push a
artwork.
button, stick some prompts in, call it good.
Yeah, it's like, it removes the incentive for someone to be creative. It does, and it removes the human element from all this stuff. This is why I don't like it.
Hey, it's Group 5-5.
Hey, Group 555, welcome to me complaining about AI art because Krypton Media just pulled the rug out from under me. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's including AI music as well. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's like,
God.
this is why, like, I'm okay with Vocaloids, though, right? But I'm not necessarily as okay with, like, or like any voice synthesizer, right?
Because if it's used in a creative way to...
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine, but the moment you take away the human element from it, it's just, what is it? I don't think it's really art anymore. Because art requires something, like, I hate to say intent, because a lot of the time when I'm drawing stuff, it's not really like I'm trying to put a message in it. It's not. It's just like, hey, I'm drawing cute thing. This is cool. But even then, it's like, with that kind of intent, it's gone. Like, even if it is just, yeah, I'm cool, I'm drawing cool thing, I'm drawing cute thing. It becomes meaningless.
Yeah.
Like, incredibly meaningless. So when I see stuff like this, like, from the actual fucking company, because I have to assume, right? Because it says, like, Krypton Media on the thing. It says it's from there, and it's used with their fucking permission to do this. I have to assume this is Krypton Media, the owners of Muku Hatsune, and a shit ton of other voice banks as well for Vocaloid. This is their message. This is what they want. And it feels awful. It feels fucking awful. And
So-
like, just such a huge betrayal almost. But yes, moving on. So
Alright,
next thing is all.
Hold on. I'm gonna let chat say it.
Okay.
Alright, so we got Banana, optimization of production. We're with us whole 20th century. Now we live in the 21st century where the most valuable things are information and amusement. And now they're trying to automate
Yeah.
that. Felony.
Yes. Yeah, and that's another big part for me of just like, this is just sad. Like, what do we have left? Genuinely, like, what do we have left? If so, say like, you know, Utopia happens, right? Woo! We no longer have to work. We no longer have to do any of the shit, right? Like, just say the impossible happens for a second, right?
What do we do?
Yeah, what do we do? Like, if the idea is like we have free time to create the things we want to create, but now we
the
have
creative
AI
processes-
that is just generating the whole thing for us, what are we supposed to do?
Hello, Shadowclaw.
Hello, Shadowclaw. But you get what I mean? Like, it's just, what are you supposed to do?
Duck Dog, the reason why I have magnetic drink There's a reason why I have magnetic quadrangle buckshot when the machine rides. It's back down. I hate how Hollywood is replacing dead actors.
Yeah, like that's also just
That's
Christ.
man. God. Like AI art suffers from confirmation bias. When done well with intent and serious input, you never know AI was used. If it was just 3 words and a generator spitting out meaningless shit, it gets attention.
Yeah, but like even like done well and with intent and serious input, it's like I still find that very in the same way of you will no longer have an actual pet, you will have the robot pet. It's that same feeling of like, what are we supposed to do? This feels like a lot of the fun of just doing shit is being sucked out of it. Because again, what's the incentive of learning to draw or learning to paint, learning to play the guitar, learning to sing? What is the incentive? I mean, and I'm sure, like, you go like, oh yeah, what's the point of learning to sing? Haha, Vocaloids, right? But no, the voice banks for Vocaloids are used from actual fucking singers. So, checkmate. Right? But, like, it's kind of like... And, like, they still sing, and we still have actual singers, right? In that instance, right? Because these aren't, you know, designed to replace, they're tools, still. At the moment, anyway, I guess, unless Krypton Media gets their fucking way. But... It's just, what? It takes away the incentive to learn just creative skills, and it's just, that's sad.
In the 22nd, we won't have anything.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm gonna still draw, like, once I get the inspiration back, I guess, but, like, yeah, you know, I will still continue to make things, because I like it. I do, but it just makes me sad for... It just makes me sad for kids nowadays, really? Of like, what's the point in learning how to draw when you can go into the Bing AI generator and just generate rando big titty anime woman? You know? Like, what's the fucking point when you can get that instant dopamine hit by generating a picture?
There's an anime where robots automate everything, so the humans started doing busy work because they needed something to do. You know, that's honestly, like, very true. That's the thing. Machines can't make art, but humans can use machines to make art. Because to not let the algorithm take lead, but be purposeful in what you do.
Yeah, and AI is augmented intelligence still needs to... It does, but at the same time, it just needs the person to generate the image.
Stupid casuals trying to turn the Earth to easy mode.
Right?
You're not.
Yeah, but like, you're kind of missing the point as well. It's like, it still needs people. Yeah, but like, the people to generate the image. Not necessarily, I mean, yeah, you still need the things to feed the machine to learn it, but it's kind of missing my point, though, of like, what is the incentive to drawing them? Or doing anything creative when you can just...
It's gonna keep losing if you keep turning back behind me to look at me.
Just boop. You know, like, when you can just press a button and instant thing.
Digital drawing didn't take away.
Yeah, that's not my point, though.
People still think, yeah.
That's not my point, though. It's still drawing. There's still someone making it. Like, I'm not debating digital drawing versus, like, traditional drawing here. Like, that's not even in the same ballpark, really, because it's still someone behind it still making it. What I mean with the AI art, it's just...
I don't really have as much of an opinion on AI art because I've...
Yeah, and that's understandable, and it's fine to disagree with me. It's fine. It's just an opinion, and it's just something where, like, I've noticed it of, like...
This is one of your soapbox.
It is. This is my soapbox things of just, like...
This is where this kind of gets under your skin.
Yeah, this gets under my skin more just because, like, I don't want to stop people from doing what they're going to do. People are going to AI art, alright? I'm not one of those fucking retards who goes, oh, you're destroying the environment by generating these images, and think of the artists. No, that's not my point. That's not my point. That's a dumb point. If you think that is the point I'm trying to make, that's kind of like, no, it's not. It's the fact of, like, this is just instant dopamine hits. instant dopamine hits that just reduces people's want to put in a little bit of effort to learn how to do something. That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. Because seriously, why would you learn to do something like this when that is an option?
Give her a juice box.
Give me a juice box. But like, when you get what I mean, it's like that. It's just, why would you bother? And I completely understand it. Like, why would people bother when this is the alternative? Connecting. Why are you disconnecting? Connecting. Why are you disconnecting? Okay, reconnection successful. I don't know what that was about, but okay. But yeah, we would have caught it on a little bit. But because it was so fresh in our mind.
That was a word hiccup. Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like it's back. Okay.
Alright, yeah. But because it was so fresh in our mind, though, right? That's why we kind of cottoned on so quickly, I think,
Yeah.
to what was being said here.
Only a little straight. Yeah, we're back. It was
Yeah,
very,
we're back.
very quick stream thing.
So, the globe.
The globe.
Okay.
What was the like the video that they played? Basically, it was like a show.
It was, oh my god, okay, so I had some notes that I was thinking of.
You
this
actually
particular
wrote
thing.
down.
Some ideas, basically, that just came to me. Shower thoughts, literally.
What the because it was like into a diverse Earth or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
into a diverse Earth, where it started off normal enough, I guess, if
Yeah.
you want to call it that. Where it was basically, yeah, look, this is our planet. Where they were weirdly focusing on, I mean, Asia makes sense, right?
But Africa.
Yeah, they weirdly focused on the Middle East and Africa, which was where it was kind of like, okay, is this a perspective thing? Because again, it was a globe, so maybe on the other side it was showing like other things. Because admittedly, we did not go to the other side of the thing to see it. But the display side that they were obviously intending you to see, that's what they were showing.
Terminator's got angry order complaints. Alright, so
yeah,
like,
so
it was weirdly focused on like the amount of drinkable water in certain areas. It was very.
it was focused. It did a thing on Oh, did I not? Oh, I did.
ethnicity changes.
Yeah,
Or,
it had border conflicts. That was the big
Yeah,
one where
yes.
it kind of went like,
border
What?
conflicts and border walls. Like it pointed out all the literal physical border walls all over the world still.
yeah,
they-
but
and
not
they did
all over
use
the
the-
world. It was still very specific. The borders they were showing.
Yes,
They were showing conflict borders such as in Africa, in the Middle East, and in
Asia as
China.
well. Yeah.
They showed China and a lot of things like that. They also showed what I found very interesting. The free press country scale.
Yeah.
They did, and I remembered this specifically because, okay, they showed Australia as being, because you could see Australia at this point as well when they were showing this, right? You could see Australia, and they said, oh, that's a free press. It's like, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense a little bit. They showed Japan as being middle of the scale.
Yeah, which is,
Which
I
was
guess,
okay.
little honest, I guess?
A little honest, but at the same time, it was like,
I
I don't know much about their free press in Japan. I'll be the first to admit it, but I feel like that was like a soft opener for something. I don't know what. I don't know what, but it felt like it. But at least they showed that places like China and the Middle East and all that had
North Korea was...
yeah, they had like absolutely nothing for free press. At least they showed that, so
South Korea was strangely blue, too.
yeah, it was, which I wouldn't have expected, but it was like, it was one of those weird things of like, what are you getting at here? What are you doing? What are you doing?
What?
And then they were showing stuff like, yes, so then we shall, oh god, what was it? It was like, fuck. I forgot. Oh my god, but it was something that we both just kind of went, this is commie shit.
Yeah, it was something about working together.
Yeah, it was working together to, like, close these borders or something like that. It was something to do with the borders, I'm pretty sure. And it was like, this was very communist.
Remove the borders.
Remove
and work together in unity around the world.
Yeah, it was just like...
I came up with, like, what is this, like, almost commie shit? Like, that's what I said.
Yeah!
So, like,
And the look on your face as well was just, like, this contorted face of just absolute fucking concern and devastation, and it's like, I get it. I get it. And it was at this point that we kind of came to a crossroads, right? Of, what do we do now that we've seen this? That we now kind of understand what they're trying to get at. Like, you've seen the robots, you'll have the robot pet and you'll be happy. We've seen the color grading stuff and the AI art and the Miku Hatsune telling us you will listen to the robot songs and you will be happy. We've seen the borders thing where they focused on Africa and the Middle East. I wish I was exaggerating there, but it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but it's not. It's not. They really did. Do we continue? Do we keep looking? We did pay the admission, which was fairly cheap.
it was a fairly cheap admission.
It was like, what,
It was only
600 each?
It was 650 yen each.
Yeah, 650 yen each. So, like, it was a pretty, like, cheap entry fee. Oh my fucking god. Cheap entry fee, to be quite fair, right? But it was one of those moments of, like, we both were just like, do we keep looking? Because I wanted to keep seeing, like, how far were they going to push this?
Yeah, it was
Like, what were they going to do next? Because I'm looking around as well, right? And I'm just seeing all the school kids and just going, oh my fucking god.
What are they going to slip in here?
Yeah, like, oh my fucking god. What's happening? What are we doing? So we continued though. So we ultimately decided, yeah, we paid the fee. We're in. How much worse can this get, right? How bad is this gonna be? Because we both had no faith that this was going to be,
There was a couple exhibits before I think the next one too, because if you go, yeah, it was.
So
What's that one saying?
this is when I started, like, so the Miku Hatsune thing, right? I took a picture of it, and I took a picture of the AI thing, so I was kind of like, okay. After this point, though, this is when we start getting a lot more images, because I didn't take pictures of everything, because again, there was a lot of school kids around, and I'm like, I don't want to be that person that's taking pictures of school kids, so they have the reason of taping up the sign of saying no photo, or the teachers when they're walking the kids to and from school, because we've seen that. I don't want to be that person, because that's just what the fuck. But I want evidence that we're not making shit up.
No, we're not.
We're not making this shit up. We couldn't even do this if we tried. So, I think this was the next one.
Was it this one, or did we go up? Okay, yeah.
So we went up a floor, and I'm pretty sure this was the next one. I think.
Is this?
But, this is what this one says, though. Societies are born and changed by the relationships between their peoples. What stories will you go on to create? Let's listen to the exhibition message.
Oh, that was after the ones with all the kids, the kid things with all the, like, emotions.
Yeah.
And
the
how
memory
brain functions.
Yeah, the memory stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weirdly enough, that was right across from the should we continue to eat meat?
Oh yeah, right. Oh my fucking god, I forgot about that one. Yeah, some of these I didn't. No, some of these I couldn't take pictures of because they were moving images, so it was kind of like all we could take away from it was our memories, really.
Yeah, that one was like it was a gigantic exhibit.
Yeah, it was
about how.
It was in the style of, if you've ever played these Flash games, right? I think this is not something that some of the younger viewers will know of, but it's a very specific game, right? a McDonald's flash game where they basically were going over like, yeah, this is what it takes to make a McDonald's. Yeah, you clear out the Amazon rainforest to make up farms and shit. Look, feed the cows. Don't let them get mad cow disease now. Like, this is an actual flash game I remember playing as a kid a lot. Never absorbed the message. It was just because, yay, farm simulator, basically. But yeah, it reminded me so much of that, of like the style of that. If you've ever played that specific flash game or flash games like it, that was the look of it.
Yes.
But yeah, it was showing basically like the life cycle of meat. Of like,
Yes.
yeah, you have the cow, you feed the cow emits CO2 gas, because yeah, they had little bubbles like emitting CO2 from all the cows. Package the cow, send it to a warehouse where it gets cut up, an abattoir, as we call them. Yeah, and then it gets sent to the restaurants. It doesn't tell you that it gets sent to like grocery stores or anything like that. No, it's straight to the restaurant.
It's just restaurants just all over the place.
Yeah,
right?
and then they show like in like a fast food joint, people leaving leftover burgers, right, and it going into the trash, and people, and then like the text comes up of like, should we be eating meat? Or no, it was, should we be eating as much meat as we want?
Yes.
That was the question. Like, should we
It's-
be eating as much meat as we want?
it's
To which
literally-
Platty and I both kind of just said, yes.
Yes. Be meat.
Yes. Oh my fucking god.
Look. Yes, no meat. I will not eat the bugs. Yes.
Yeah, oh my god, no, and then next to this one, right, there was a...
Yeah, you did do that.
I got really shitposty. I got really fucking
The
shitposty.
very end. So there was a couple things. Can I say what all was
Yeah.
there? Because
Yeah,
there was a
go
couple
ahead.
things there.
Go ahead.
So they had the meat thing. They also had the audacity for being in Japan and going, man, we use a lot
Yeah.
of plastic, and it's like.
Yeah.
You're the one who needlessly wrapped individual things inside of a wrapper. What the fuck is
Okay,
wrong with
and to really emphasize the point that we're trying to make here about the plastic thing, right? Because that was a point that was all over this place. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, we use plastic a lot. We should recycle. We should use wood instead and paper and things like that. So,
You have a picture of that, don't you?
yeah, I think I do somewhere.
Anyways,
But no, the thing I really want to say though, like to really emphasize the point there, right? Of like, we're not making this shit up. They really do this. Oh my god.
it was very much on petroleum and like being bad. to
Yeah,
do.
like they no, not that part. I mean the plastic wrap thing. Okay, like to prove, like just to say, right? As an ideal example of this shit, of them wrapping everything in plastic that does not need to be wrapped in plastic. Okay, we bought tonight these strawberry cakes. So it's strawberry shortcakes, right? Because they sell them in 7-Elevens and convenies everywhere, right? They are delicious, but they are individually wrapped in plastic inside of a plastic case. It is very unnecessary to do that, except for keeping the form of the cake. But they do it. So we unwrapped these cakes, and we unwrapped like these plastic wraps around the cakes. And they're just slices of cake.
Yeah, it's just a
You
slice
don't
of
see
cake.
that anywhere else in the fucking world but Japan.
It's literally an entire like solid foot-long piece of plastic just
Yeah,
stuck
just
around
the cake, just to
wrapped
keep
around the
form.
cake because fuck you.
And it's to make sure the forms of the cake slice stays intact and all that. It's like, I understand why they do it,
But why not use like
but yeah, it's like you're using. This is the point we're making, right? Like you are a country where I have also bought on another occasion, right? These tiny little like oh god, like jerky sausage things, right?
oh my god, that's right.
Yeah, I bought those before, right? All of the little, like, sausage things in these packs, individually wrapped. In plastic, of course. Same goes for, like...
Think of it like this.
Same goes for, like, little crackers as well that I've seen, but, like, they're individually wrapped. It's everything.
Just if you're like an American or so, or even a fucking thing. Basically, think of it like this: if you take a pack of like 10 Oreos, right?
Yeah.
Each individual Oreo is wrapped in plastic inside of the big wrapper.
Yeah,
That
every
is basically
single one.
the extent of how this goes. in
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah, like, and this is normal. This is not, like...
This is
This isn't like a brand specific thing, right? Like, oh yeah, don't get X brand, they're all wrapped in plastic, to get Y brand, they're just
It is-
hanging out in the bag, chilling. No, this is everything.
it is so needless.
It is everything that is like this.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's something to keep in mind when if you come here, right? That is how it is. If you're buying these things, they're individually wrapped, and these people in this specific museum, and it's not just this museum either, honestly, because I've seen a couple of other things over the years of coming here where I've had similar thoughts. I've never been as incensed about it, I guess.
They have their whole burnable and non-burnable trash.
Yeah, like they are big on recycling, and I understand it. Like you want to be big on recycling, that's good, that's cool,
Yeah, fine.
that's okay.
Recycle the plastics.
But like, they will go like, oh yes, we are being eco-friendly, this and the other, and it's the same the same country where you can buy a packet of fucking cookies, and they're all individually wrapped. Like guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? Holy shit! But yeah, the plastic. But yes, so next to the
next to
the
all
cow.
this, next to all this, because it goes on cycles of like, here's how plastic is made, here's how beef is made, or
Yeah.
whatnot. Like,
yeah, and we turned away when they started doing like here's how plastic's made thing, and we turned to the right of that screen where they were showing, oh yeah, here's a place to put your opinion in, kids.
yeah,
And if you looked at half the stuff on there, it was just kids drawing.
yeah.
It was just
The
kids
don't
drawing
care,
and like
and
submitting it because they had no idea. Like they had no fucking idea what was going on. So yeah, they had like a little thing going on there, right? And I think I think they do Google Translate some of these things. They did have Google Translate up there for a second. And they had questions such as like oh god, like what do you think of what was the question I actually answered again? Because I selected a specific one. And
I
it
don't
was
remember what it was.
yeah, I don't fully remember it either. I remember the answer because it was just
It
me
was
being
something
shit.
like something about emissions or CO2 something or other, right?
Yeah, it's like oh god, I think that's what it was. Yeah, how do you suggest reducing CO2 emissions? And I just got really shit posty with it because I'm like, oh my god, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing, huh? This is where we're going with this. Okay. So I just wrote eat the bugs, live in the pod, eat sorry?
You will be happy.
Yeah, and I think I had a third one on there. It was eat the bugs, live in the pod, have the robot pet, you will be happy.
Yeah.
You will be happy. And like I just hit submit and walked away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just and that is not the only instance of me being
A shitlord.
yeah,
I-
I had a couple instances of just me going full shit posty in that place because I was just like, oh my god, I can't take this seriously. I can't take this fucking seriously. Like the one exhibit where like no showing us like, oh yeah, this is humanity cutting down the trees and shit. It was the
Did you-
fucking shadow men going.
Did you have a picture of that or not?
I unfortunately don't.
Oh my gosh.
I
'Cause it
unfortunately
was
don't.
so
Like,
It
touch
was-
the X and you will see the image on screen, and it was a bunch of like these shadow men coming out in like the goofiest stance possible.
and just cutting down trees, and then suddenly the Earth is dead from cutting down all the trees.
Yeah. It was just like, oh, well, the one where it was the horse like running along and it's producing CO2 emissions. Like, I'm sure horses would be fucking galloping without people.
It's like, it's, yeah.
To reduce CO2. Have you tried breathing less? That should do the trick. If you do good enough, there will be much less CO2.
True. You just you.
Oh my god.
I have a soapbox moment for
Okay.
this.
Okay.
But we'll just keep
We'll
going.
get to
We gotta get.
Yes,
to this.
but yeah. Oh my god. It was like
So
so.
from that one, right?
Yeah.
We were like, okay, we gotta go forward. We gotta go more. We gotta go see where do they go mask off on this?
Yeah,
Where's-
and there wasn't really quite a mask off moment. To be fair, right?
Yeah.
There wasn't really a mask off moment.
It's-
It got close.
It did get close.
It got close. Like the borders thing
It was very close.
was
to
very
everything.
close. But and this here, the societies are born and change how the relationships between their peoples, what stories were you going to create? It like, that was approaching it.
You really have to be have to be really aware of a lot of the subversiveness.
Yeah, a lot of
Which
the
is,
language these people like to use, which is why it's like...
I'm noticing the language, and it's very...
And I hate it.
And I hate it.
I fucking hate it. Because
really
if I
like
didn't
this.
know the language, I would probably go through this and not think much of it, to be honest.
I
I'd
think
still
that's
think it's
honestly what
weird.
most people do.
Yeah, and I would still think it's a bit weird, like the robots thing, I'd be like, fucking really? But otherwise, some of it I'll just be like, yeah, okay, fear-mongering, climate change bullshit, what else is new? Right? And I want to make it clear, right?
Hmm?
I want to make it very fucking clear. I do believe climate change is real, just not to the extent that gets pushed. Alright? I do believe we do have an effect on the environment. If you don't think that, it's kind of dumb. Like, we've seen it happen. Yeah, we do have an effect. But at the same time, I have seen so much in my lifetime of people pushing the goalposts of that by the time this year hits, all this area will be underwater. Do you know how many times I have seen that for where I live?
I am so...
Like, for the Perth area and surrounding areas like Mandurah, Kwinana, Rockingham, Midland. Maybe not Midland, because that's more the hills, but you get what I mean? Like, all... Midland, mainland, all these areas are going to be underwater by the year whatever the fuck, right? Like,
Right.
I'm just describing Perth and surrounding areas, right? This is what I've seen in my 28, almost 29 years of life, right? They have changed these dates over and over and over. Like, I'm just saying it, I'm just laying it out there. I do believe it is real, I just don't think it's going on the scale that they are so insistent on, okay? And this is as far as I'm going with that, okay?
I'm not stopping.
No, I'm just drawing the line in the sand for myself, okay? Like, I am not some nut job.
Can I have my soap?
In a moment. But, like, in a moment. But, like, I'm just drawing this line in the sand. Like, I am not a complete nut job, okay? I am an idiot. But I'm not... I can do pattern recognition, alright? I know, like... I know the game. I know the game of pushing the dates forward and forward and forward. I've seen inconvenient truth in school. Just remember, I have seen an inconvenient truth. Watch that fucking movie and it is fucking wild in modern day. Just trust me on that, okay? Just fucking trust me. The dates they put in that movie. Well, they want you to forget that. They want you to forget that that movie is real and it exists. And all the dates they put in there for when all these places are going underwater.
Okay.
I don't forget it though. Just putting it. But that's my line in the sand, okay? Like, I'm not going to go full on. But Platy, it's your soapbox.
My soapbox? All right, fuck climate change. I'm not even gonna give them half of it. The people pushing this are communist pinkos that don't give a fuck rat's ass about actually doing anything with the Earth. Those same people who fly fucking jets that actually put more toxic stuff in the environment and pollute. I know pollution's real. I know pollution has an effect on things. I know about haze being a real thing. That's real. That I understand. I understand regulating that to an extent. However, the amount of control, the amount of people that just, the amount of emphasis and control that they go, it's all part of the plan. It's the same people who are pushing their Marxism, their fucking every single thing. It's the same thing. I'm not gonna listen to them, even if they're a fucking broken clock right twice a fucking day. Doesn't matter. They're actually, and they've already been right twice a fucking day about other things, and that's like very, very rare. Very rare. I don't trust it. I don't trust them because they say trust the science, and they said that about so many fucking things. COVID, everything. Fuck.
Holy shit.
All this. I've been holding this in. I hate this notion of doom and gloom climate change. The ice caps melting. What about fucking displacement, morons? What about actually floating pieces of ice? Oh man, the ice caps. They're just giant floating pieces of ice. We're gonna melt and flood the world. It's like, we would already be flooded because they're floating, dipshit.
I mean, I think there is a bit more to that, but like, I'm not here to argue. I'm just not here to pitch it.
I get that I'm lumping in the commies with this, but in all honesty, it's honestly one of their prongs of attack.
It is.
In my opinion. In my opinion, it is a form of gaining control over certain parts of country or something like that in order to control the populace even more. Because it's all about control in the end. It is nothing to do with the environment. It is all about control.
Yeah.
I am honest to God sure that we put more shit in the atmosphere back in the middle fucking ages when we were all using torches and fires.
Maybe.
Because everyone used a fire.
I don't think it was on quite an industrial scale, though.
It's
like, I get what you're saying. I get it, and I'm not here to argue with you, but just
here's
like...
the crazy thing, a lot of what people see going into the atmosphere from these factories is steam. Not even actual CO2 emissions. People see these white clouds coming out and they're like, oh, it's pollution. It's like, it's just steam.
Yeah, no, I've seen
water.
the white clouds. You'd be able to tell real quick if that was fucking...
Yeah,
that's fucking cool.
It's like... I mean, like, what? We're gonna, like, suddenly lose, like, they keep changing, the goalposts keep changing, the name keeps changing. It's all about subterfuge, it's all about, like, fucking changing the name, changing the language. Hey, guess where we've seen all that before? Thanks, Marxism.
Thanks, Marxism. Very cool. But, god, yeah.
Right. And
the thing...
This is where I stand on this, because I don't trust the people who tell me climate change is a huge threat to the world.
Yeah, I don't buy that anymore either. Like, I growing up, yeah, of course, because, like, what, you really think they would do that? Talk to the children and tell lies?
Yes.
You know, like, you have that mindset as a child, and
I grew up not believing in global warming. I know.
Yeah, I do.
Guess what? I was fucking right.
Yeah, one of the wildest things to me is still that, one of the first times I ever heard someone actually go like, hey, maybe climate change isn't as real as we think it is, was my fucking conspiracy theorist modern history teacher.
Fucking...
And
Banana.
Like,
oh my god, you fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Like, Earth has things called volcanoes. Those bastards are throwing so much shit into the destroying life for centuries. What's another power plant gonna do? Like,
yeah, like,
legitimately?
have you heard of the year without a summer?
Do you guys...
That was a thing. When a volcano went off in, like, Indonesia or some shit, right? Massive fucking thing. And then the Earth just had, like, full-blown winter for, like, long ass time. Like, this is recorded in history. This is not unknown.
That's like people seeing the space shuttle launch and think it's burning fuel. It's just high-pressure steam. SpaceX is different. Like, there's a lot of things that people... But I'll give you an example of proper pollution. 4th of July in America. For years, until they fucking started taking away our fireworks. Fuck them. Too many idiots. The fucking... natural selection, motherfuckers.
It's all coming out now.
Oh, God.
American.
First it was global cooling, then it was global warming, and now it's climate change.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shadowclaw.
It is, yeah. No, I
It's
remember
always
warming as a child.
changing the language, changing the narrative, removing the goalposts a little bit further until you finally get what you want. And I see the pattern. I have pattern recognition.
Yeah, look, we may be idiots, but we do have pattern recognition. We're not that dumb.
We are.
We share a brain cell, but we're not that retarded.
This is what I've been wanting to say because oh my god, it pissed me off every time.
Yeah, like, and
It was
the worst part is, right, like, in some instances, it's like, they're not entirely factually incorrect, it's just the way they're pushing it. Like,
It's
the
like-
cores, when they were showing the ice cores, like, yes, ice cores are actually a very good way of showing, like, different levels of oxygen that were in the atmosphere at different times. What are ice cores? It's basically going to, like, Greenland, like, they show the example, but I know it more as people going to Antarctica and doing this, right? And getting, like, a core, like, a giant fucking thing, right? And taking massive ice samples out of the ground. Because, yeah, those are great places to do that. The problem is, that's not a global thing. It's not a global thing. It is very much within, you know,
that area.
that area. And while that is still a good way of indicating, hey, this is how much oxygen and CO2 or whatever the fuck you're looking for was in the atmosphere at that time, it's not perfect.
No.
It's not perfect. I do think it's interesting to take these samples and look at what's in them. I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's invalid to go, hey, yeah, this is a general gist and an idea of what was going on at the time, because it can give good information. And this is where the lab tech part of my brain comes in. It's like the one time where it's like, wow, this information is actually relevant for me. But yeah,
You don't have a picture of the
no, I don't have it. No, I have, like, some things I took pictures of, some things I didn't.
Mhm.
And that one wasn't really that,
Yeah.
that one wasn't really worth it to me, because it was just kind of like business as usual, that you're showing ice cores and like the measurements you're getting from that. I don't, if you want to see that, you can look that up online. It's not really, that's not really anything new or special.
Yeah.
Is more my point. Like, and this is more my point when I'm saying this, right? The information they had in some cases was fine, because it was, yeah, it's stuff that you can generally find, like the ice core thing. I will stand by that is a general thing you can do. To say that is what the global temperature is, though, from those core samples is not... No, you can't, no. No, to say that, especially for, like, you know, you're taking the samples from Greenland, for example, right? That's not taking into account anything in the southern hemisphere. You can't just do that. It doesn't work like that. The Earth does not have one consistent temperature. Right now, it is winter in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it is fucking summer. And let me tell you, that shit is not the same. Like, it doesn't, you can't do that. You cannot do that. It gives you a good idea. But that's it. But that's also why I didn't take pictures of that, because it's like, who cares? Who fucking cares? It's ice cores. It's ice cores. Like, this is, like, But the problem is more, like, the way that they were pushing it. Like, you can take all this information and go, like, yeah, this is cool, this is neat. But the minute you're, like, trying to use it for a specific goal, But, yeah, that's Miku. What was this one? Oh yeah, Towards the Future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember this one? Remember this one?
Yeah.
Where, like, they said a guy not helping to get in the middle of a fight with two children fighting over an apple was an inconsiderate, or, like, just...
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just...
I was, yeah,
Yes.
It was,
What was it again?
It was in...
Yeah, it was something very specific, like... It was something very specific when, like, you could also just take it as, this isn't my problem. Why would I get in the middle of a fight between two children over a fucking apple? Have at it, kids.
Yeah, I guess.
But it was like unsocialized or something. Is that a fact? It wasn't.
Seriously, through you guys.
Sorry.
Any competition? I'm just reading the chat of it.
Ah.
Dude, how many fucking? I could go on about fucking climate change stuff, but
Yeah.
There's-
Don't let her.
just how many of those people got outed for later fucking with the recordings
Oh, so
of
many.
the early on, of the people doing it early on? They said, yeah, no, we fucked with it. was like, why do we trust them anymore? Why do we even put faith in these people anymore? When we know that the people who were leading experts like 4 years ago are now saying now we faked these records. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, well, again, I bring up the inconvenient truth by Al Gore, right? Like, again, I cannot begin to stress that that is such a good example for what you're talking about. And really, you should bring that up as an example of this shit, right? Because I remember watching that in school. I don't remember all the details, but I remember they put specific dates in it. And we were getting, like, when I was watching that in school, we were getting pretty fucking close to those dates. Right? Like, pretty close to the dates that they were saying, everything's gonna be underwater, we're gonna have, like, really problematic weather, we're going to have, like, all manner of things, right? And those you know, those time dates that they gave hit, and, yeah, you know, but it is not the year 3000, and we're not living underwater, and your great-great-great-granddaughter is not doing pretty fine. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But, I couldn't help but reference that song. But, like, my point still stands, right? Like, nothing is underwater, we're all fine to a point. Anything that's happening, like the California bushfires, right? The LA fires, right? That's not because of climate change, that is because you know,
many different
factors that, again, are human-made, but they were easily fucking preventable. Like, you know, but yeah, it just bring up an inconvenient truth. Genuinely, just, hey, have you watched that? Have you watched that? It's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing because of how fucking bad it is, I'm pretty sure, right?
It is bad. It is bad.
Because it's like...
It's fear-mongering.
It shows the strategy.
Yeah. No, yeah, that is
It shows the plan.
But, yeah, my big problem is more just, it's fear-mongering, and I don't like fear-mongering. I don't think that's...
Alright.
But, yeah,
Anyway, sorry, I keep getting distracted.
No, it's
like,
fine.
We're gonna keep touching on it.
We are mad. We are angry. Platy got more angry at this place than I did, to be fair. I was just more like, holy shit, is this for real?
I did get very angry at it.
I was just more like amazed that this place was real. Holy fuck. So this is the end of my story. One and other many. We have looked at human nature that creates our social relations. It's time to start your story. Who is your another and many? That is your future created by how you establish relations with other humans.
Is this such a... Is it a translation?
Yeah, this is one thing of, like, some of this shit is, like, is this just English, or is this, like... Is this just an English thing, or is this, like, you are intentionally trying to use the language in such a way to kind of blur it? Because I don't think the translations differ as much. I would like to know if they do, but, judging from, like, what I'm seeing kind of here, and, like, the fact that, like, it was still showing the same images, right? And you were still getting the idea of what they were trying to get across. I don't think the translations differ that much.
Yeah.
I don't think they really do. But, am I going backwards with that? Oh, here's some corn stuff. Yeah, so my theory with this is that they want to make, corn syrup great again.
Yeah, basically, it's like, look, you can recycle this plastic, you can't recycle this petroleum thing,
But
there's no loop for it.
But don't worry, we can make things out of corn, and we can make it recyclable. Let's use the corn to make corn great again. Just... Okay. Okay. But yeah, there was a lot of this shit of, like, what we ended up coming away from it with was, like, they didn't even know what they wanted out of this. Because there was a lot about recycling, a lot about plastic, a lot about using wood and trees and stuff, where it's like, weren't you guys the ones that were against chopping down the trees to use for, you know, this kind of shit? I could have sworn you guys, like, you know, the environmentalists and stuff were really against
You did
cutting
have a
down
lot of
trees.
those. You did have a lot of those things, like actually, like their statements on these things.
Yeah. Yeah. What's this one? Yeah, trees have a hidden power that we have yet to learn to manage. Fucking Christ. In the future, we may make all sorts of products from trees instead of petroleum, like we used to. Like, this shit isn't new. Like, we used to make everything out of wood.
Yeah.
Like, this is not new.
We started using plastic because it was environmentally friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the reason plastic was being used was so you would stop using wood, because chopping down the trees was bad, okay? Oh my fucking god.
Corn syrup is what got rid of the mutants in X-Men.
Holy fuck. Oh my god. But yeah, the point stands though. Like, wasn't this why we were using plastic in the first place? But now we have microplastics, and
It's like there's so many
it was so contradictory.
Because there's this, right? And
Yeah.
then it goes, but don't cut down too many trees or else the earth will die.
Yeah, and then we saw like the thing of like we were describing of like the shadow men with their funny little gate cutting things down and making like riding horses and all that sort of shit. It's like
And those CO2
people
cars.
lame.
The CO2 cars just fucking up the earth.
No, it was the horses fucking up the earth. Remember?
No,
It was
it was
CO2
horses becoming cars. And then the trees couldn't filter out all the CO2 the cars put out, apparently, and the earth died.
Yeah,
because there was only one tree that didn't grow more trees. It was so fucking confusing.
It was confusing.
It was almost deliberately dishonest with those images.
Yeah.
What's that one?
Agricultural products in the future, and that's where it was showing like rice, I think.
And plastic bags.
Yeah, where they were saying they were gonna turn like rice into like
Oh yeah.
Yeah, rice into plastic or some shit like that.
Yeah, because they were like.
Or like it was like an alcohol fuel.
Yes,
they were turning it into alcohol fuel.
And plastic.
And plastic, right? Of course.
It was basically like let's use the
plastic.
entire rice stock in order to make everything.
Yeah, so like they can't even figure out if they want to make stuff out of wood or not, or if they want to make it from rice plastics. But agriculture may potentially have a new role in producing plastics. If a plant provides food, fuel, and materials simultaneously, it would be a much more efficient use of land.
It's legitimately saying use rice. Rice is the best.
Yeah, and it's like I like rice and all. I mean, we've had rice bowls most mornings here.
Yeah,
for breakfast. But like this is this feels like big rice is paying for the propaganda.
Big rice.
Big rice is paying for their big plastic rice propaganda. Yeah, it was just again. This is another thing of like pick a lane. You want to use plastics or you want to use wood? What is it? Which is it? Come on. Come
I
the
just
fuck
don't
on.
want you using petroleum anymore.
No, oh yeah, because that's, you know, so bad. Oh,
You turn rice into alcohol and
oh
plastic.
no!
Turn plastic into alcohol? What?
It's blurry.
Oh no.
Yeah, because there was a person there and I was like trying to do it quickly.
Can you read it?
Oh.
Oh, that was the gold ring one.
Yeah, that
Where
was
it's
the
like,
gold ring
It was
one.
like it was like, how much more metal?
Yeah.
Like all the metal. We need to stop using metal.
Yeah.
So much because we have such limited amounts. We need to start recycling our metal.
Yeah.
Which I agree, yes we do, but
at the same time, shut
How
the
do
fuck
you-
up. Shut the fuck up.
why are you guys like, what? What's the grandstanding?
Yeah, what's the point in that? I mean, yeah, we have a limited amount of metal, but at the same time...
Oh no, blurry. Hello, Telefilter.
Yeah, but at the same time...
It was...
Metal is a material that I think, you know... It's a natural resource, right? Volcanoes exist, like we have discussed, right?
Yes.
A lot of these things come about because of interactions with volcanoes and other things of the sort, right? I don't think that metals unnecessarily, like,
We should stop
know-
using metal. No, I think we need a better recycling for metal.
no, we do. We do need a better
Because-
recycling for metal.
Because there's so much shit just
Yeah.
left in landfills in
Exactly.
general. But like, so I agree with that aspect.
Yeah, but it's like,
However-
I don't agree with, like, oh yeah, once we mine all the fucking, iron ore, that's it for iron ore. I don't believe in that.
I don't think we're like, that is like such a far future.
No, and it
issue,
is.
But it also,
But it's also,
But,
like,
like-
we have asteroids we can harvest. Like, do you know the amount of metals that are in asteroids?
how many asteroids we're going to get
Like, holy
to?
fuck.
Either the world's gonna fucking end, or we're gonna have to go start asteroid mining. One of those things is gonna come first.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure asteroid mining is going to be the go-to thing. Like, I don't see this being... Oh, hello, Tilly Builder, by the way.
That's what it's.
Yeah, I think you're new.
Replace all metal
Welcome.
with plastic. Oh yes, plastic made by
yeah,
plants.
plastic, but and then you have to start thinking about the wood, am I right? But plastics from rice. Like, it's like, make up your mind. Make up your mind. And that's the thing that we just kind of kept coming back to, of like, what do they want? Because this isn't even beginning to get into the nuclear power thing.
Oh my god.
This isn't even getting into that. Because yeah, that gets brought up.
Let's speed run some of this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, in present-day Japan, an enormous quantity of metal has already been accumulated in the form of products and waste. The total amount ranks with the reserves of the main metal exporting countries. Using these metals as raw materials, we can continue producing products without violating our natural environment. I mean, yes. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really wrong.
There's also a semblance of how much historical shit are we gonna have to get rid of?
That too. It's like what exactly are they aiming to recycle? Because if it's just like shitty computer parts that like hold no inherent value except for their scrap, right?
Like scrap
Okay.
metal, yeah.
Yeah,
Stuff
okay.
that's been thrown in the trash, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But once you start getting into like, oh yeah, let's recycle it all. How many of those shiny coins that you see in museums are you gonna have to scrap? How many like ancient swords that have like stood the test of time are you gonna have to scrap? How many historical statues are you going to have to scrap? Where does it end? Where does it end? Because and it feels like I'm exaggerating here, but this is the path it goes down.
mhm.
When you start like going, oh yeah, this is useless, this is useless, this is useless, and we've seen this happen before, like
What-
in you know, ancient societies where they just melt shit down because they see no value in it. Like, this is a thing people have done for centuries,
Do
you
we
know.
not know how thick the earth is that we can't even dig that deep?
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, I don't think we're going like. I don't think. I think we're going to find new ways of mining things
Yes.
outside of the Earth before we run into an issue
Oh,
of
absolutely.
running out of resources here.
Absolutely.
Like I said, asteroid mining, Mars mining,
Yeah.
fucking moon mining.
Moon mining. But also this isn't taking into account the places where we know the resources are.
Mhm.
We know they're there, but we're not allowed to mine them because, oh no, scary. We don't want to deal with uranium and its consequences. This is Australia, by the way.
Oh,
Australia, we have massive deposits of uranium. And we're not allowed to mine it. No one is allowed to touch it because nuclear scary. We are actively not building nuclear power plants because no one likes the idea of nuclear.
accidents.
No, I mean, it's not that, they just think nuclear scary. I don't think the accidents even come into it, to be honest, except for like the worst case scenario.
The
Just in
radioactive
general.
waste. Oh no.
Just in fucking general, and it is so frustrating to see, like, all these problems that we have would be fucking solved if you just, you know, did the thing.
Fives fucking. Hear me out. We mine the core of Mars for raw materials. Solve this issue and troll Elon and process them. I like the cut of your jib, good sir.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Move forward
Yeah. Okay.
because we got to get through this.
We do.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, metal like petroleum
What?
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 Wait. Metal like petroleum.
There must be a translation.
I feel like there's a translation here, or like they're just like, yeah, kids are dumb, they won't know. Because it's a limited underground resource. Rather than digging it up and throwing it away repeatedly, it should be recycled within communities.
Okay.
Feel like they're combining two things and not thinking about it too much.
Never heard of petroleum, alright? Then guys, let's go to Australia and mine some uranium and make it into uranium.
Oh man, you want to start mining gold again? I mean, I think they still do that in Kalgoorlie. That I'm pretty sure that's what the super pit is. Which, if you've never seen that, oh boy, that shit is massive. Information forms a cycle. In order to gather metal resources from products and waste that have been dispersed within society, and then recycle them, it is necessary to create a system for overseeing each product. The key will be information technology that will assist us to repair, reuse, and recycle.
I don't remember what thing went along with this one that made me go too much red tape. Nuclear power is one of the cleanest there is. Those people don't actually care about the environment. Otherwise, we could solve the problem pretty fast.
Yeah, the frustrating thing I find about the nuclear power thing, right? It's the fact of like they're like wind farms are the answer. Wind farms are the future, and like they'll put up all the wind farm stuff, but they just and the solar panel stuff too, which is like that's so much worse to build.
Solar panels.
Solar panel. The stuff that goes into building a solar panel is like so much fucking worse for the environment than just making a nuclear power plant. It's kind of insane.
Shadowclaw has a very good point. It sounds like someone from America made this.
It does. It
And
really
that's
fucking does.
Frightening because it kind of does.
It really does.
Let's minimize that real quick. No, let's go to the next photo.
Yeah.
Batch of photos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Alright, so... Sorry, like, this is how I've got it, because it was just easier to do it like this. Alright, yeah, look, you can see us!
Our shadows.
Hey, it's you!
Oh no. Is that my coat sticking out or my tits?
Yes!
Okay.
Man, yeah, this is our face reveal. We are just shadow beings. I mean, you kind of knew I was. I'm just fleshless being.
Very good point, Shadowclaw. You need oil and gas to keep windmills moving. They can't stop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let me
Worse for the environment than nuclear power.
Yeah, let me
when...
tell you the story of South Australia, right? Because I cannot fucking believe that this has been lost to time, right? And I'm not fucking crazy. This actually fucking happened, and it still blows my mind. So the entire state of South Australia, right? Their power grid is all renewable. It is all solar panel. It is all wind farms. There's no coal. There's none of that shit going on. All right. Some years ago, their entire state lost power because of this. The entire state of South Australia lost power. What does this mean? It means literally, like, hospitals, houses, emergency services, all gone. All fucking gone. Entire state. An entire fucking state. And South Australia is not a small state, alright? It's not the biggest state that goes to Western Australia. Home state. But they're not small either, alright? What ended up having to happen was they had to siphon power from Western Australia and Victoria, and I think New South Wales as well, right? So all surrounding states had to feed them power until they got their shit working again. This is the big reason why I just don't see this being the future. And I am amazed that people forget South Australia happened. And that they just... I think they just continue doing it.
Memory hold.
Yeah, it was just memory hold. I will never fucking forget it, because that was my first instance of just going, holy fuck, this is not sustainable. This is not this cannot work. If this is what one state does, and this is all renewables, like, I cannot begin to stress this. It was all renewables. And this is what happens. Like, you can't. You can't do this because they still had to siphon in power from surrounding states.
There's like instances, right, where it's like they talk about like all these renewable things. People like to point out the whole issue. There's several years ago where the power grid stuff went down with fucking what's it called? Texas. Texas had a huge power grid issue because their renewable stuff wasn't properly winterized.
Yeah.
But I think the point of that is that it's not that necessarily that it's properly winterized, it's that they poured so much money into renewable power sources and they couldn't even be bothered to properly winterize it, and it failed and caused even more millions of dollars in damages because people just were without power.
Oh my god.
Oh, you just saw Shadow Claw's comment?
No, I'm going oh my god at you as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, birds being killed by windmills. Yeah!
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And solar panels are like also just they're not a lifetime. They don't last.
No, and
They
and
have a
the
life-
way they're built
They have a
as
short
well,
lifetime.
it's just it's so bad. And the thing is, I think there's a time and a place for these renewable things, right? I do. I think there's a time. I think there's a time and a place for the windmills. I think there's a time and a place
For
the solar panels. I think there is. But to rely solely
on those.
like, again, look at South Australia. Oh my fucking god.
Go green, go nuclear. Dude, nuclear
Yes,
is
that's-
unironically one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Like, we need to figure out how to deal with the salt issue.
Yeah.
Like, that's still an issue that needs to be solved better.
Yeah, but as a whole,
It's
like, this is what
pretty
drives me
relatively-
so fucking crazy with my country, is the fact that we are sitting on, like, basically, like, free uranium. It's right there. It's
You
fucking
can just go to the park and take it.
Look. God doesn't want you to know this, right? But uranium is right there in the earth. It is free. You can take it home. Okay, maybe don't take it home, but you get my point. It's like, it's right there. We would be the perfect, like, we don't really get devastating earthquakes. We don't really have a lot of the issues that, like, other countries like Japan have of you know, earthquakes disrupting the facility and oh no, we have meltdown. Like, yeah, we have our own issues, but not of that variety. We are, like, the perfect place to do this. We have the resources, we have the means, but we don't do it because uranium's scary. Oh no! Oh no! We can't do that. What about all the nuclear waste?
Alright, let's get
It's
to the nuclear
fucking-
waste part, because that one...
It
Let's
is
get to the
fucking
nuclear
frustrating
That
the
was
shit
that
out
was
of me.
so frustrating to see.
Enormous collected, a natural energy, catch and natural. Okay, yep.
Show a giant fucking candle.
Is that what that is?
Yes, that's what that was.
I think I missed that. Energy lasting, what, 10 million years? Is that?
That's what that says.
Okay, yeah, I'm a bit iffy once the numbers start getting big. Society developed with the consumption of petroleum and coal, and we are about to exhaust those resources, citation needed. Since energy resources for fusion is very abundant, when fusion is realized, it will continue to support civilization far into the future.
This is such hypothetical stuff.
It
because
is.
Fusion
And-
has yet to happen.
And to be fair, right, this museum was called, like, the Future Science Museum, so we should have expected it. We should have expected the speculation, and we kind of saw it already with the AI and the robots and all that jazz, right? But this is, like, where it was like, so you're just skipping over nuclear, and you're going to something that we haven't even...
You know what? That is honestly a fair point. The biggest issue is power storage, because you can't really reliably store a lot of power. Power storage is definitely a lot of things. The reason why it's so stable with fossil fuels and whatnot
Yeah.
is because you can just store it.
Yeah.
Without burning it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a way to store nuclear waste.
It
Nuclear
is.
waste
I mean, I don't think
also,
it's the.
I like what Hannah said.
Yeah, well,
The Australian government.
yeah, Australian government is afraid of our uranium, but not afraid of saying skibbity in public. How do you even get those people guys? How do you even get those guys to rule you?
You force everyone to vote.
You force everyone to vote, and so unless you want to pay a $20 fine, that is real. That is fucking real, by the way. Fun fact, yeah, we have to vote, otherwise we get a $20 fine. And you make the voting so fucking confusing that no one actually knows how to vote. And so you are handed voting guides, and I'm not kidding on this either, you are handed voting guides when you go into election stuff, so you can vote correctly. So you can vote for Liberal, vote for Labour. And this is how you do it, in these easy steps. And this is how you vote for the Senate. Like, this is how brain dead the voting is. I need to actually, because I think the next election is this year, I need to actually learn how to actually vote properly, because fuck this. Fuck this shit. I generally haven't
fun
before.
when you first time vote in the
Oh
US.
god, it's gonna be so nice. It's gonna be so
different.
nice. It's gonna be so nice. No more of this fucking, like, long-ass ballot papers. Holy fuck. But yeah, I need to actually
have that. But
yeah, but not to the degree. I
Not
don't
to
think
the
you have it to
degree.
the same degree. But yeah, I need to actually figure out how to do that properly, because they don't actually teach you how to do that properly.
Hashtag Annex Australia.
Yes. Oh my god. Unironically, yes.
Alright, next photo. Like,
Alright. There are different Oh god, this is getting into the opinion quiz.
God. That's right. Oh, right, the opinion quiz.
Opinion quiz. There are different opinions on environmental problems, therefore the problem is not likely to be resolved with science and technology alone. In order to unite opposing views and to have common objectives, your participation is needed. So yeah, we just voted in like the most what would be perceived as insane way possible for this.
Yes.
Since global warming is a problem that affects the entire planet, both developed countries and developing countries must reduce their emission levels.
You are assuming a lot with
Yeah.
that statement. Like, there's a lot of assumptions with this. They are so poignantly pointed in one direction.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Yeah, and it's the entire quiz, and it gets worse. It gets so much fucking worse.
This child propaganda is creepy AF, not gonna lie.
Oh,
you
yes.
are not wrong.
No, you are not wrong, and like
we did see several adults still.
yeah, there was
But-
several adults, and there were several like obvious foreigners because they were white, right? I don't. Yeah, like we saw people there, but like I think they were with children though as well.
There was a lot of that. Yeah.
There was a lot of that, parents with
Families, too.
children. Sometimes there were people on their own, like adults like us, right? But we were the minority. We were in the minority of the kind of people that were here. It was a lot of children. That's why I prefaced this whole thing by saying there were at least 3 school groups here that I saw.
Yep.
3 separate school groups. So this is... oh, God.
Everyone has their own opinion, yes, Carol, but mine is informed by scientific studies and people way smarter than me. Yours is based off of Facebook.
Yes! Unironically.
I mean, you know, it's so fucking, it's so wild.
Yeah, it's so fucking wild. So this is the next one.
Mhm.
We are still developing, so we still need to increase our consumption of fossil fuels in order to achieve safety and comfort. We have the right to emit CO2 at least the same degree as the developed countries did in the past.
That was an agree or disagree one, wasn't it?
It was. There was another agree and disagree. And I think we hit agree. Because we're just aiming for like the most insane, like what they would perceive as the most insane takes, right?
They didn't ever, we never got an answer for it.
You never got an answer for it. It was just, yeah, have your opinion, fuckwit. Oh yeah, let's agree and disagree. Alright. Doing that will accelerate global warming and bring about tremendous... I think that this was the responses, right? I think they did actually respond, like, so depending on your answer. Doing that will accelerate global warming and bring about tremendous suffering around the world. Sweet. including the people in your own country. Sweet. It is no longer possible for you to do the same things that the developed countries did. Agree, disagree.
I think I pressed disagree here.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, and it was just like, okay. But yeah, you can see the direction they're going, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
See, we're allowed to have slaves now because we didn't have many when the rest. In other words, there could in the world there can only be two opinions, mine and the wrong one type of thing.
yeah.
It really
Basically,
is
yeah.
very much so like that. Like, it was very portrayed that way.
It really was.
So one of the biggest things with all of this, you want just kind of flick through,
Yeah, well, this is the next one.
read it out loud.
Yeah. The global warming that we are now experiencing has been caused mainly by the CO2 emitted by developed countries in the past. Surely it should be the responsibility of the developed countries to resolve the problem. You have no right to prevent developing countries from achieving wealth.
Couldn't remember which one I
I
fucked up
can't
on.
remember either.
Because at the end of it didn't matter because it didn't give us like
Yeah. I mean, I think
or
it
shape.
gave us like a chart at the end, but I did not understand what they were getting at with that.
Exactly.
If you emulate the energy conservation policies of the developed countries, you'll be able to reduce emissions without sacrificing wealth. Bullshit. Emissions by developing countries are continuing to increase and already exceed those of the developed countries. You must think of your responsibility to the future generations who will be affected by those emissions.
God, that is such a patronizing
It
thing.
really
It's
is.
so like, you naughty little child, you haven't done your part.
Yeah,
Do your part, stupid child.
it really does have that
Stupid
vibe.
moron.
Ah, yeah.
China and India are the biggest polluters. They are. They are.
Okay. Introducing energy conservation technologies would be costly. Currently, though, currently, through the use of abundant fossil fuels, we are able to obtain electricity at a low cost. If you want us to reduce CO2 emissions, I'm reading it as written, the developed countries should pay the costs for their measures.
This is politics portrayed as science, and it pisses me off.
Yeah. Yeah.
It pisses me off.
To resolve global warming as well to achieve... I love how they're calling it global warming here instead of climate change. Like, they've been doing recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, you guys, how long has this been here, I wonder?
They keep saying global warming,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah, it's like, I wonder how long this has been here like this, actually, thinking about it, right?
Honestly,
Because-
I think they've been, like, Japan's a little slower on the...
No,
sometimes, no?
no, because even, no,
Maybe
they've
it's-
always had an element of it. They've always had an element of, like, environmentalism,
Maybe it's because it's the phrasing, and they don't really change the phrasing that much.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it does make me wonder how long this has been here for. To resolve global warming as well to achieve fair distribution of wealth in the world,
Yeah,
there
that...
needs to be consensus among different nations and regions. One way is to set a uniform quantity of CO2 that each individual can emit regardless of nationality, so carbon tax. Another way is to scale a nation's CO2 quantity according to its economic structure. There is an ongoing debate to establish international fairness in applying any rules to any country.
That's
commie speak.
That is commie speak right there. I didn't read that one fully, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I think by that point you were done, but yeah, I read it a little bit and I'm like, this is
Good,
commie speak.
good on you for taking a picture of that. That was some
Yeah,
full plan.
yeah.
I can read the writing on the wall. I can read that.
Yeah, but the line, to resolve global warming as well as to achieve fair distribution of wealth in the world.
Holy fuck, it's outright commies.
It's right there. It's right there. That is not communism. That's totalitarian. No. I mean, it can be both.
Can be both.
It can be both totalitarianism and communism. But yeah, this is no, that's commie speak.
That's some Marxism right there.
That is fucking Marxism. Oh my god. But yeah, yeah. Here's another one. I think this is when we were starting to kind of get into the nuclear power stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and they were very wishy-washy with it, to be honest.
Oh my gosh, this was
like they couldn't. It was again a moment of like they, and you see it a lot in this other stuff that we went over, right? Of like they just can't decide what they want.
This is in a museum, permanent exhibits that are
Oh, yeah,
portrayed
it's
as
permanent.
science.
Yeah, this is all permanent exhibits, guys. This is not like
Temporary.
Yeah, this is not temporary. They did have a temporary exhibit. We did not go into that one because
we would have to pay extra.
Yeah, because after this point, like after we were like figuring it out and like going, I see what you're doing here. I kind of came to the conclusion of I don't want to give these people any more money. I don't want to pay more to see how crazy it is. Bad enough that we paid to get in, and I'm kind of glad we did go just to see what the fuck is going on here, right? But I don't want to give them more money. Because by doing that, I don't know, I feel complicit somehow. It's kind of in the same way of, like, I don't want to give Nintendo full money for new Pokemon games, right? Like, I know it doesn't really make a difference in the long run. I know they're still going to make their money. But I will feel so much better, you know? I will feel better, morally speaking. And if I did give them full money. So I don't want to do it. We live surrounded by potential risks, hazards, that threaten the survival of our society and the lives of many. There are natural disasters / risks such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and heavy rains. There are also an increasing number of other risks triggered by humans, such as the spread of infectious diseases, nuclear power plant accidents, and terrorism. Oh boy! What must we do now to prepare for all the hazards likely to occur and to overcome them? Let's consider these challenges together. Well, step 1, stop Japan. Let me be real with you for a second, right? Stop importing refugees. They have started to do that. Stop that. Stop that right now.
You can probably do that.
Like that, yeah, that will curb a lot of that. Just putting that out there. Just putting that out there, Japan. And maybe stop. I don't know, letting so many Indians in as well, because that's also becoming a problem. I hate saying this.
Banana, did you not realize this was all in Japan?
Yeah, this is Japan.
This is all Japan.
This is all Japan.
This is all Japanese.
Yeah, like, see this up here? This is Japanese. Right? This is just...
This entire museum is in Japan.
Yes.
This is what we found today in Japan.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, we went here. This was our day trip today. This place. We only mildly regret it. Japan being commie? What the hell?
The screen of death.
I don't think they're commie yet. But.
So, here's the thing that I had to come. Like, I came away with this with a gigantic fear for the Japanese people.
Oh, me too.
Because
it's happening.
Outside looking in, I see a people who is very compliant to their government. A government that I don't see nearly as much outspoken, like, I don't see nearly the amount of, like, outspokenness against things they do. I don't see people arguing saying they're wrong. I see a lot of compliance. I see a lot of people just going about their daily business, doing whatever they are told to do. I see them lining up as like, the government told me to get this vaccination. They told me to do all these things. It's all government stuff told and whatnot. And if a certain ideology infiltrates the government and slowly manipulates the people and slowly manipulates the education system, like they have in a lot of different places already. That is where I believe Japan is a lot more susceptible to things like this, because they are a lot more easier to guide in a different way than, say, someone like Americans or Australians.
I don't quite agree with that, but mostly just because it's like I've seen a lot of Japanese people online, right? Who are so fucking against a lot of like
Okay, because
foreign shit.
This is me looking, like I said,
yeah.
looking
No,
at
and I get it, and to a point you are correct. They are very. I wouldn't even say compliant necessarily. It's more organized, right? Like they have social rules that they follow, right? That's where the lines come in. Not so much to Tokyo, right? Tokyo is kind of a free for all, all right? Which is probably why we're seeing a lot of the shit happen in Tokyo, because Tokyo's gone to Tokyo, right?
It's all communist globalist BS. I
And,
think it doesn't get worse for Japan. True.
And I'm not exactly you know, secret in this of my opinion of Tokyo and like how much I don't particularly like Tokyo, right? It's compared to the rest of the places I've been in Japan, right? This is not a secret. But a lot of the line stuff, it's not really compliance, it's social rules, because Japan and the Japanese people have a lot of social rules, right?
Okay, yeah, like
And
compliance is the way I take it.
it's like, yeah, but it's not,
But
some of it is
social.
compliance, don't get me wrong, some of it is,
Mhm.
but a lot of it is more just, they have a way, and it's a cultural thing, right? Like, in Australia and America, right? Barging into a line is seen as an arsehole thing, right? But do you get super aggressive with it? Depends, right? But you don't see that as like that. You don't see it as like really abnormal. You just see it as like, wow, you're kind of a cunt. You're kind of a dick for doing that. What the fuck, right? In Japan, it would go very differently. You would be like, it's a social stigma thing of like, if you are seen to be cutting into the line, you are the arsehole and you are someone to be basically like a social pariah. You are to be avoided at all costs. It's just a cultural thing, right? But that's also why it's like I don't. When it comes to these viewpoints, right? I don't think a lot of the. I don't think the average Japanese person is going to look kindly at some of these people because these are new thoughts, right? Yes, the Japanese people can be a very accepting people, they can be a very kind people, but the minute that you start disrespecting their social rules, you are enemy number one. You are a pariah. There is a fucking reason why it is so common to see in a lot of Japanese places, on cafes and shit, hey, you don't speak English, don't come in here. I mean, no, you speak English and you don't speak Japanese, sorry, I meant it the other way around.
Yeah.
Don't come in here, alright? There's a reason for that. Like, a huge fucking reason. And it's because a lot of the time, the people that they're referring to in these things don't respect the cultural rules. I don't buy into, like, yeah, they're just gonna lie down and take this. I don't.
I don't think that. I think they have more trust in their government.
They might. I think they do to an extent, but I don't. And the problem is, right, we don't know enough. But from what I know, right, I don't think it's 100% trust either. I think it's somewhere in the middle, where it leans more close to trust, but I don't think it's entirely just, 100% trust. I don't think that this, like, some of this stuff has a foothold. Don't get me wrong, some of it does, obviously, like, look at this fucking museum. This is a permanent exhibit, for fuck's sake. But when it comes to the second stage that we tend to see, importing foreigners,
we're kind of getting to that point again.
We are, but you get what I mean? Like, when it comes to that stage where they're starting to, hey, let's take in refugees. If the refugees, or the immigrants, or people of that kind, right, don't play bold the social rules.
Things are gonna get real fucky real quick.
Yes. Yes, like, it's not going to go well. Like,
There's not some clashing.
Yeah, like, this is why I don't see it, like, yeah, I see it as a problem beginning.
Mhm.
I see this as a problem beginning, but I don't buy into it being... I don't buy into it going as far as it has in the rest of the world. And maybe that's my optimism speaking, right? Because I try to be optimistic about this shit, you know? Like, I try to see the best in people and you know, hey, you're smart people, what are you doing? You know? Like, but...
I'm so fucking American.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
like,
try
you guys
to be
don't have enough
optimistic.
freedoms. You need more freedoms.
Would you like some freedom with your freedom? But
Bring
yeah,
more guns.
but
More
yeah.
guns.
But yeah, I try to be optimistic, right? Because if I don't have this grain of optimism, that's it for me. And I know that's it for me. Like, that's when it starts getting into, like, well, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Well, what's the fucking point? I might as well go commit die right now. You know?
Gotta
But-
stay optimistic.
Yeah, and that's where I'm coming from with it. Of like, I can't just go all doomer with it. I can't just write people off as like, well, it's fucked. Goodbye, Japan. I can't, because it's like, no, because the minute that I do
By the way,
that,
welcome back, Potato.
yeah, welcome back. But it's like the minute that I do that, it's just, nah,
It's over.
it's over. It's fucking over for me.
It's all over now.
It's all fucking over for me.
Alright,
But
so
yes, so
we
yeah.
have that, which was pretty,
Oh god damn it, it's blurry again. Ugh. In order to explain scientifically global warming, which is behind the increase of various types of abnormal weather, an international body named the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change was created. Scientists from... Scientists recommended by each nation's government are trying to find answers through mutual collaboration. Results of such challenge was summarized in the IPCC's 5th assessment report. Oh god, they've had 5 of these fuckers. In which it is predicted that if the global warming progresses at its current rate, the frequency and intensity of heavy rainfall would increase by the end of this century at mid-latitude areas including Japan. Such impact might have started to appear already. We may think that the effect is being suggested already by now, so you don't know.
yes.
That's what I get from that. You don't know.
You don't have the data.
Well, no, they have the data, they just don't know how to read it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from that.
It's like,
Optimism, I thought you were Australian. I mean, yeah, I'm Western Australian, we're built different.
wine and says smells good.
What?
Smell of wine. Oh. Who drinks wine? The optimist who sniffs bugs.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright. Next.
Alright, well, good thing I don't drink wine. What is happening? That is a good question. What is happening? Damages by heavy rainfall. Although its connection with global warming has not been determined yet.
Oh my god, I didn't realize that said that.
It did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they say it doesn't even have a connect. They don't even know it has a
Oh
connection.
my
But we
fucking
think it
god.
does. So we're just going to bullshit and say, yeah.
The heavy rainfall disasters occur almost every year in Japan. Wow! It's almost as if it's a yearly event. Like the Perth yearly storm. Wow! Especially in urban areas, many damages are caused by flooding. Yeah, that kind of happens when you are a giant fuck-off city.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. The occurrence frequency and the precipitation amount are on the rise, whereas no countermeasures can catch up with the rate of change, which is one of causes exacerbating the spread of damage. I guess by the end of it, they just didn't care anymore about translation.
Yes.
You're just like, yeah, you're in. You're in.
You're indoctrinated.
Yeah, you're indoctrinated
You
to the
can
cult
take
now. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, you go. with
Rain
it
on an
now.
island nation? Wow, who would have guessed?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so it increases per, like, when did we start recording though? It was like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be variations.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like,
And
I
there's
can't
still
get
no
over that statement.
correlation.
I still can't get over that statement at the beginning. Although its connection to global warming has not been determined yet, it's like,
There's no
why are you mentioning it?
Then stop mentioning it as a correlation. It makes no fucking sense.
Why are you mentioning it?
Oh my god. Whereas the alcohol, poly.
Oh my god,
Oh man, oh, that made me mad too.
the typhoon.
It's like, oh guys, look, there's still no correlation between heavy rainfall or weather affecting with global warming, but it's causing more storms.
Yeah, wow.
They can't see me flailing my hands
No,
around
they
like
can't.
a fucking idiot, but
Yeah, she's
You can
very
imagine
expressive with her hands.
I do talk with the hands a lot. It's a familial disease.
Familial disease.
Is it time to start learning how to motion control how to cap hands?
I don't want to.
We'll probably not have to use YouTube Studio, I'm not gonna lie.
I don't want to.
I wonder if YouTube Studio has something like that.
Well, they have hand things.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, there's hand tracking, but it's I don't know what the fuck to do with that.
Time to maneuver the hands.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That would require so much articulation. Oh my god. Along with the progress of global warming.
At that rate, the UK is already underwater with their rain.
Yes!
Like, for real. Like, it's... It sounds like poor planning on your building part.
It really does.
More than anything. It sounds like you didn't prepare for floods properly. Like...
Sounds like every Australian bridge that has like a massive like dip under it, those always get flooded. Like yeah,
Of course.
yeah. Why would you build for that?
Purposefully preparing for flooding. Like,
Oh my god.
was helped protect Japan when it came to Genghis Khan invasion. Like, they've been around for years. It's not like they're getting even more frequent or any like
Yeah.
it's just maybe we're noticing them more because we have better technology to spot them.
Yeah.
Like, hasn't anyone ever like considered that into the factor of how progression goes?
No,
I think
no,
that
we're
they're
crazy.
No.
No, that makes you crazy for even thinking about that.
Better-
That's bad thoughts. Those are thought crimes. Those
Better
are thought crimes,
fucking-
Splatty.
Better tracking technology
Thought crimes.
allows us to more accurately record things, and we don't have proper data to base it off of from the past.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Just
Yeah, thought
move
crimes.
on.
Those thought
Move
crimes. Along with the progress of global warming, the events causing... Sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble here. Causing larger damages would occur easily. One of them is the increase of the number of super typhoons to land on Japan. It is still under research. It is still under research, but a typhoon of the largest ever class that caused major damage in the past might hit Tokyo.
It hasn't even happened yet. You're just assuming. Oh my god.
Well, this is approached Japan after developed into a typhoon with huge power. Look at the date on it.
1959.
Yeah, global warming, guys.
Global warming.
Global warming, guys.
Man, we're already underwater. Why are we not drowning yet?
Oh my god. But yeah, to be prepared for hazards, what kind of approaches can we take? Let's take a look at the example of earthquakes.
Guys, global warming's causing earthquakes.
Yeah, that was the thing when I
You just-
initially saw this. I'm like,
Are
is
they
this-
saying that?
Yeah,
No.
is that what they're saying? I don't think it is, but like, because of everything preceding this, right? You can forgive me for thinking it. Of like, is this like really where we're going with this? Like, earthquakes are caused by global warming? Again, I don't think that's what they were doing.
No. It's basically we can track them better is what this whole
Yeah.
part was. We're kind of rushing through this.
We were at this
because
point.
We're just kind of like
We're just like, so
we're
done.
fucking done with this propaganda bullshit. Like, because we realized really quickly that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay, to collect data accurately to measure the ground shaking, seismographs are instruments that measure motion of the ground. Since modern seismographs come in various types, by taking advantage of combining their unique features, okay, it's just me. It is possible to observe a wide range of shaking, from slight and unnoticeable vibrations to large and destructive ground motions. Seismic records allow us to precisely locate and measure the size of earthquakes, for instance.
They do have a lot of earthquakes.
Yeah, they do.
We didn't even notice it because it was so far away from us.
Yeah, and we were asleep.
God, fucking Shady sent me he sent us both an article, and it's like, guys, you gotta leave soon. I'm like, I read the article, and it's like, they predict a megaquake within the next 30 years, and it's like, that's
read
like
your article.
It's like
I
the
love
most
you,
worthless
Shady, but
article.
read your article.
Read your fucking article, and also, it's so fucking worthless of a prediction.
It really is.
Megaquake within the next 30 years, maybe. I don't know. Could be. There's an 82% probability. Okay, so you crunched some numbers and figured that it could possibly happen. Could possibly maybe happen. Who knows? It could just be a bunch of small quakes to alleviate said pressure. Who knows? We'll find out.
To reduce the damage caused by hazards, what kind of approaches can we take? Let's take a look at the example of infectious diseases.
Oh yes, because everyone handled COVID so fucking
So
well.
I didn't actually read this. At this point, I was just taking pictures.
Mhm.
To be fair, I was just kind of reading the top, like that top line, and just went, snap. Snap. We can cover this later. Like, because we'd already decided by this point, like, we're talking about this on stream. We're doing this. Because holy fuck, how could we not?
Yeah.
How could we not? With just the insane fucking batshit that we were looking at.
I'm gonna eat this melon bread and you can't stop me.
Oh, okay, I wasn't gonna stop you.
Okay.
I was not gonna stop you. I've been eyeing the gummies or the popping candy for a bit, I'm not gonna lie.
Go ahead and eat.
Yeah, I'm gonna have popping candy. There we go. There we go. I'm breaking my own rule that I break very frequently. I'm eating on streams. It's fine. Okay.
Don't worry, guys. We're just snacking. It's 10 o'clock at night in Japan.
And I have popping candy going off in my mouth. It's great. Alright. To stop the spread of damage, survey and grasp situation. To discover disease-causing pathogens. When a new infectious disease occurs, we have no idea, for example, what kind of damage it may cause. Oh no. So we first read... Sorry, it's tiny text. So we first need to identify the pathogen, the cause of infection. Therefore, research laboratories, quarantine stations, and public health centers and others constantly stay up to date with overseas infectious diseases and are prepared to carry out laboratory testing to identify pathogens when diseases enter Japan. Plus, in the case of the pandemic influenza in 2009, testing manuals were distributed to local governments in advance that the laboratory examination can be carried out. When was this last updated? Because if they're using swine flu from 2009 as their main example, this reads to me like they haven't updated this in some time. I might be wrong. But usually if you're talking about this, right, what would be the prime example to use? Something
Current
like,
day?
yeah, something more current. Something
COVID.
that stopped the world. COVID. Yes.
You mean the fucking PSYOP?
If this hasn't been updated in several years and they're using which I wonder, because why would you bring up swine flu instead of, you know, COVID? This feels very weird. To prevent infectious diseases from overseas, border control measures are conducted at quarantine stations. Oh, it's like they actually want borders now. Holy shit. If a disease-causing pathogen entered our country in spite of the measures, and the number of infected people started increasing, each hospital is to report to the Ministry of Health, Labour and Welfare through the prefectural governors to minimize infection. The system we have is designed to accurately report nationwide occurrences.
Guys, do you
Come on.
know what the fucking
Can we not have this down here?
survival rate of COVID was?
What?
It was like 99 point something percent of surviving. Like, for the majority of everything. Like, the only people who would die from it were people who would die from a flu. Like, something we knew already, but, like...
Motherfuckers.
I'm just... It doesn't even matter if they use it or not. It's so fucking...
Yeah.
It's all worthless.
But, like, you would still expect it to be COVID, though.
Hmm.
Which is why this makes me so suspicious. Oh my god. Ah!
What do you mean there hasn't been a major outbreak in recent years?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Was it nothing to see here.
You know what? You're not wrong. But like, I get it. It was such a. They like to tout infectious diseases when we've literally. The only thing that's come out of the thing that kind of, you know, risked anything was stuff made in a lab by people. Like, at this point, all we should know is that the only infectious diseases that would wipe out a fucking population would be created by someone, either our own country or someone else's country. Because there's no naturally occurring version of these. Like, we've already immunized ourselves to things like smallpox and this shit. Like, there are true vaccines, true immunizations. Flu and whatever, and COVID just never really immunized against those, so... On accident or on purpose, true.
When a dangerous infection comes into the country, the government may declare a state of emergency to minimize the damage to public health, as well as avoid adverse effects to people's daily lives and the economy, by limiting the spread of infection as much as possible. When the pandemic influenza virus entered Japan in 2009, schools were temporarily closed on a large scale, and events were requested to be suspended voluntarily, among other things. So, yeah, this really does read like they haven't updated. Interesting. No more victims' medicines for infectious disease and the end of outbreak declaration. There are very few medicines effective. Oh god, this is gonna be bad. Not because of content. We already know because of content. It's because just the way I fucking took these pictures. Oh my fucking god. There are very few medicines effective for treating new infectious diseases. Moreover, many of those actually used do not act directly on disease-causing pathogens. The doctors mostly support something power. Yeah, this is getting bad. This is getting bad.
You know,
of saving their lives by treatment depend on this. Instances, for example, by
So, Banana, this
fluid
section is supposed to
replacement.
be like huge disasters. Like,
Yes.
to quote
Yes.
them, natural disasters. This is much less so.
Yeah,
Natural, but-
this is infectious diseases, and it really does
But
not
it's
look like it's been updated for a while.
yeah.
At least before 2020. So much for this being a future museum. Declaring end of outbreak. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on because this is getting unreadable.
Yeah.
Like, I probably could if I pushed through, but I'm not. No.
Oh, that was the uranium.
Oh, yes! Yes.
That's Fallout.
Yes. This is Fallout. So, the cause.
That kind
So,
of is,
this
yeah.
was, Fukushima, right? Alright. The cause of the accident was a tsunami striking the nuclear power plant and knocked out the power. However, recent studies have indicated that in the past, this area may have been struck repeatedly by a tsunami of the same size approximately every 500 years. Predictions and preparations were inadequate due in part to the difficulty of accurately predicting the height of tsunami and also the vast expenses required to protect against it, which means they just built in the wrong place.
Yeah.
That's
Which-
all this means. It's just they just fucking fucked up.
They fucked up and built in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Because they didn't properly prepare.
Yeah, they
Which-
didn't properly scout out the area beforehand, and that's
It was like
okay.
it was like, okay, so I get it. Every 500 years is a little hard to record, but it's also like you really just didn't. You just built it in the wrong spot, and that's the
Exactly.
cause of the accident.
Yeah, okay.
It's like building one on. It's like building one on a fault line.
Yeah, don't do that, idiot.
Isn't that 3 Mile Island or something like that?
I think, but I also know that one was, like, it was bad, but not anywhere near Chernobyl bad.
Yeah, Chernobyl was just fuck up.
Or this bad, to be honest. Like, it was just kind of like, meh.
It's like we have all these different accidents, right? But most of them are like preventable.
They are. No,
Is the-
if not all of them. Actually,
Yeah.
no, all of them are preventable.
Preventable by smarter building.
And most of
smarter
them are because of a Canadian company. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh.
At least the ones that I know of.
Oh my god.
But yeah, there's so many of them, and every single one of them is preventable, which is the worst part about it. They're all preventable, and they're all nuclear accidents are caused by sheer just people not giving a fuck anymore.
Mhm.
That genuinely, like, just procedure just becoming really lax, and people just thinking, yeah, this is fine. Like, it's not the fault of the plant itself, it's people. It's people just getting too comfy.
Yeah.
Just,
It's preventable, but human error keeps on
Yes.
tricking, and it's
yes.
that is always going to be a problem with nuclear. Like, I get it, it's always going to be, but all these areas have mostly recovered from what it's like. Chernobyl is probably the worst one, right?
Chernobyl is the worst one, and there's still shit going on there, but you can technically... Oh, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it right now, but you can go there. Like, they did... I don't think they're doing it now, because again, obvious world events, right?
Mhm.
But they did do tours. You could tour Chernobyl. You just couldn't really access the...
Chernobyl was a prototype after all.
Yeah, like, you just couldn't really access, like, the really bad areas, because the really bad areas are still blocked off, because, well, they're really fucking bad.
I mean,
They're
you're
fucked
not
up.
wrong. It's literally like it is a first. The fuck ups that was learned from that was, all right, we have to be really cautious with this.
Yes.
So it was a prototype. So, like, things like this will happen. I don't want them to happen.
No, I don't either, but this is also a consequence of just, you
So-
know, not following procedure and just thinking, yeah, she'll be right, mate. Oh my god. So, unlike a gas stove where heat stops as the switch is turned off, the nuclear power plant continues to emit heat and radiation even shut down. Therefore, if there is no cooling due to an accident, substances may be released. However, at the time, overconfidence that such a dangerous accident would not occur led to inadequate measures for containment of radiation. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is
literally just
That is what we were
my
talking about.
fail. It's a Titanic moment again.
yeah. Is Elephant Foot in Chernobyl? Yes, it is. That is where the Elephant Foot is. As
Maybe they built oversized for the city they were powering. I don't know which one you're talking about, but maybe.
maybe.
I don't know. I'm not as fluent on this as much as possible. I know nuclear is a good option for a lot of power things. I know it
It's
because of
cleaner.
because my own state uses it. My own state uses
Fuck.
a lot of has one nuclear plant among all the other parts.
Oh
One
my God.
single nuclear plant, and it does 20% of the power of the
That's
entire state.
insane.
And that's one spot
That's
in the entire state.
insane. Holy fuck. Alright. To create a safe society, learn from the accident and looking to the future, so they're willing to do nuclear. It seems. Nuclear is maybe okay. As a result of the accident, new regulatory standards were enacted. The changes included 3 major points. The scale of potential disasters that could result in accidents has been increased, and safe design requirements have been strengthened. Good.
Good.
Additional measures must be enacted to minimize danger. Damage from an accident. Good. The
Yeah.
latest technical findings now must be applied to all nuclear power plants. Good.
Very good.
I'm not opposed to this.
This part in and of
Uh,
itself.
Yeah,
Wow.
starting from 2013, only nuclear power plants that conform to these new standards are permitted to operate. Good! Fucking good! Okay. Nuclear power energy has supported the advancement of society, yet as a result of the accident, we have learned that we must directly confront the risk of science and technology. We will continue to implement science and technology while remembering the hazards and threats this science and technology may bring. So they're weirdly okay with nuclear.
Weirdly okay.
They're weirdly okay with nuclear. Oh yeah, and I didn't take a picture. It's again like kids. I'm not taking pictures of kids intentionally. You know.
I like Shadowclaw's sort of summary of the accidents. Basically, idiots played chicken with nuclear power plant and lost.
Yes. Yeah. But your life is constantly under threat by many hazards, and it was just like this marble thing. You know, like the marble machine thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was kind of broken. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was kind of broken, but like it was cool looking. But yeah, that's what that was about.
If it actually worked, I
Yeah,
probably would
actually
have found it
fucking
more
worked.
fascinating. But it really just kind of like
Yeah.
it was so weirdly produced, and it was like I don't understand what it's supposed to be doing.
I didn't either, and I'm looking at it like, yeah, I totally get what you're doing there. Sure, yeah. My life is constantly under threat by many hazards. Yep, cool.
I just kept watching the red ball smack into a couple of people on one side, and I was like, literally, just
Yeah,
like, okay, so your entire machine's fucked up. Or
yeah,
something.
I'm pretty sure I saw one of those red balls like fly completely out of the machine and out of the mechanisms and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to.
Yeah, it was a little
Yeah, but yeah, that line though, your life is constantly under threat by many hazards. That's fear-mongering for children.
yeah.
That's like, hey kid, you wanna die? Well, you're constantly under threat by many hazards, so it might be today. Like, I just,
You could die out of nowhere from some unseen threat.
yeah, like just this random beam falling down from a construction site. It'll just fucking kill you, kid. You could just trip and land on the railroad tracks and get hit by a train. You could just, have some random dude stab you on the street. Like, all manner of things could happen, child. It's a wondrous world out there. But then after this, we just went into a space exhibit, which I took no pictures of, and we it was good because it was not. That was a good part of this place because it was not like.
There was a weird part at the beginning.
There was a weird part at the beginning where we were kind of like, is this space or is this Earth? I can't tell. But then it was like, oh yeah, no, here's the satellite that landed on the Ryugu asteroid to collect samples. It's like, okay, yeah, cool, I'm here for this.
Yeah.
Because I like space. But yeah, like that was probably the one part of the whole museum where it was like, this is a good use for your premise of futurism, right? You show you show, hey, yeah, this is something we've done, and we've landed on this asteroid, and this is what this mission is going to do in the future, because the mission is still going. That satellite's mission is still going. It's going to land on a tinier asteroid and hopefully collect a sample from that if they're able to do that. And I had a whole bunch of like the guys that were working on it going like, yeah, we're really excited for this project. We're gonna do it. And all that kind of shit. Right? And it was like, that was cool. I liked that. That was fine.
A bunch of
Because
nerds
they
doing
weren't-
some cool space shit.
Yeah,
Yes, I
like,
like
because
it.
they weren't like, and this wasn't the only space thing they did either. Like, there was a little, like, pod thing of, like, where it was, kind of simulating the International Space Station a little bit. Where you walk in there and you kind of just see things. Like, from there, like, you saw a sleeping chamber and where they go to the toilet. Like, we saw that, and it's like, any time where they were focusing on stuff like that and going, like, and the only speculation was shit like, yeah, this is where the satellite is going in the future. Yeah, we can travel beyond the stars, kiddos, someday. Like, anytime it was that, it was fine, because they were not trying to push an agenda. They were just going, isn't space neat? Isn't this thing fucking cool? Like, it wasn't... There was no threat of like, death. Or destruction, or like, this, you are in the wrong for doing this, or like, this is, we gotta stick together, open the borders. None of that going on. None of that. And I just don't understand why... I don't understand how the same people can make that, but they also turn around and go, I'm going to fill these children with communist ideas in my
Fill
museum.
them with these ideals of fearing the world around them
Yeah.
and making sure that they are trying to do as much for the Earth, quote unquote, as possible. While I still find a notion of the climate change to be another facet of Marxist propaganda. Like, I really do. And because of how so ingrained in the world it is. Or like how embedded in everything it is, and it's still like unproven things. And so much of this globalism more than communism.
I don't really see much of a difference. To be
I
honest.
personally don't see much of a difference. I honestly like
Because
Marxism is very. It encapsulates kind of the whole issue.
It does. It's
Like, communism is a facet of it. Socialism is a facet of it. And fucking Nazism is also a facet of it all.
yeah, which
It's all-
they want to, ignore.
All Marxist. It's Marxism at the end of the day. Like,
It's all Marxism.
because they want to make it everywhere. They want to bring it everywhere. They want to make everyone bend to that. And it's a blob of shit either way. True.
Yeah, it's
Look, I just like this is a entryway.
yeah, no, it absolutely is.
This is a Marxism light. This is the beginning of
Yeah, baby's first Marxism.
yes. This is the Little Red Book without being the Little Red Book.
No, they have that as an app now.
Yeah, that's right.
Odd.
I got a message from my brother, by the way.
Yeah.
So you want to know what I sent him?
What did you send?
Because this is gonna be an ADHD moment, right?
All right.
All right. Any requests for me to bring you something from
Yeah.
this land of the red sun? Right?
Yeah.
My brother comes in with a Japanese person. I say
Sorry.
I can't do human trafficking. And he follows it up with, is it still human trafficking if they're dead? Then murder and biohazard transportation. 2 felonies for the price of 1.
Just bring him a Kakashi doll.
We're just gonna bring it.
Christ.
He's getting a doll.
Fucking Christ.
Best option is to legalize nuclear bombs, then everyone happy.
Yeah, we're all aiming bombs at each other.
Dude,
It's just
the-
instant world peace.
communism is only ever good on paper because it never takes into account the human factor.
Yeah, no,
That
and-
is legitimately the only thing. Is because it's supposedly this thing of like, oh, this
It's-
is it expects the best of humanity.
it does,
And-
and it just
That is not possible. That is not possible to do. You have
it also
to
just takes away the idea of people owning things, right? And,
will own nothing
that's-
and you will be happy.
Yeah, and it's just that's why I don't like it. Of like, under communism, I would not own literally anything I have, and that might seem like a like consumerism, but no. As in, think about it for a second, right? I do not own the drawing supplies I have, meaning I do not own the drawings. I don't even own what I fucking produce. Like, I don't like that idea. I like owning my things
I
that
like
I
owning my
create.
guns.
Sorry?
I like owning my guns.
Yeah,
I don't trust humans enough to not own guns.
like, there you go. But it's like, you get what I mean? It's like, I don't like the idea of not owning things, because why? Like, it's such an unhuman concept. You know? Just let me have my things. Let me be happy. My god, I will not eat the bugs. I will not live in the pod. I will not have the robo pet. Yeah, communism could work on a hippie branch, but that's about it. 10 tops. Yeah, it's and the thing that also gets me, right, is the fact that like it's all based on Marxism, which was written by a guy that has never like Karl Marx was a rich dude.
Yes.
He was a rich person who never had to work for anything, and yet somehow thought it was a good idea to write about the workers unionizing and the proletariat and all this garbage. And it's like, yes, unions again are one of those things of like, good idea to a point.
And then the money gets involved.
Yeah.
And human greed gets involved.
Because
and now
I
look
like
at the US unions.
Yeah, like, I like the idea of unions. I respect unions for the fact of they have pushed for better conditions. In a lot of cases, the conditions you have in your workplace, you would not have if it was not for some of these unions. I agree with that. I do not agree with how they proceed after the point of getting the stuff. What
Yes.
should be happening is they just baseline it and go, okay, we are here in case of issues, in case things arise, because things are always going to arise, because your boss is not your friend.
They will always push the line.
Yes, and that should be the point of unions, right? It's not the point of unions anymore, and it makes me sad, because what the fuck? It's like the one good thing Marxism brought to the world, and we can't have anything. It's like the one thing that he got right. The one thing he managed to get correct. And we can't even keep that going. Like, fucking Marx. Fuck Marxism, man. Fuck Marxism.
Fucking hell. Marxism just needs that whole I'm tired of it. I could go on so many different rants on this, but most of what I want to say has been said by so
Yeah,
many
exactly.
people, and like I might go on rants again with them, like even on my own stream.
Yeah.
I will totally do it. I know I will.
Like,
Because I'll be playing a game on my stream, and I'll be going through, and then I see something in there, and it just slips in there, and it just triggers me and goes, all
Yeah.
right, time to go down this Campbell's soup hole.
yeah, like, again, I try not to bring this kind of stuff up on here, because as much as it's like, oh yeah, let's have fun bitching about this, it's also like, I don't really want to do this kind of thing, because not all the time, but like,
Like regularly.
no, because it's just pain.
Hmm.
It's just painful, because it's like, well, what can I ultimately do about this besides just talking about it? Not a lot.
Yeah,
Not a lot.
I get why Kirsha still.
I
does
do,
it.
but
Like,
the thing is,
she's-
Kyusha actually
she's-
has the numbers to sustain doing it as well,
Yeah.
because people talk about it after the fact as well. I don't have that. It's like, I don't have that. So it's kind of like, what can I do? I guess talk about it, but at the same time, it's like, it's that thing again of me trying to be an optimist, right? Because otherwise, like, it just, if I don't remain an optimist, it's just, you know, what's the fucking point? It's that same thing for me of like, if I keep talking about this in this way, if I keep doing this to myself, I just, it's a mental health thing, I guess, of like, I just can't. It's not sustainable for me.
Oh my gosh, potato.
Like, this is not a sustainable way of living for me. You know, so I'll leave it to Kirsha, who can actually do this well.
Yeah.
And is good at what she does.
I'm there for mostly fun stuff too, on my end.
Yeah.
I will, like, if the topic comes up, I'll talk about stuff. I'm like, I don't shy away from it. I just don't want to be focused on politics and stuff the entire time, you know?
Yeah, it's just, it's not fun. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's just,
Don't forget to drink water, everyone.
yeah, I should
Actually,
actually do that.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Potato. One thing, Karl Marx was rich. His family was rich. He was basically cut off because he kept asking for money. More money. Then he sponged off of Engels' wife. Engels, while he slept with Engels' wife while Engels was away. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
Part of my issue is if
Rich kid.
I'm not careful, I'll become a nihilist.
yeah,
Like,
and that's kind of my problem. It's like the moment I
Here's
hit
it.
nihilism, it's like, well, that's it for me.
It is a very slippery slope. I do my best to. That's why I try to focus on other things, like being. Sorry, I'm stretching in the background here because I've been sitting
Yeah.
awkwardly this whole time. I want to take that knowledge that we have, because it's important to have that knowledge.
It is.
It's important to share that knowledge. And then I want to move forward with it. I want to go forward with it. Like, I'm probably gonna do some comeback stuff with the stream stuff. I'm gonna probably change things up a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit enough.
Yeah, like, I think this stuff is important to discuss. I do think this stuff is important to bring up and point out, because holy fuck, this place was directed at children. And it's so, like, you read it, and it's like, yeah, this is for kids, this is not for me. But that makes it so much more concerning, of, like, it's the language that's used. And you can tell the direction they're going if you know how to read between the lines. And even in some cases, it's not even reading between the lines, it's just what it fucking says.
It's leading them down that path.
Yeah,
and that is the most concerning part.
Yeah, and I think that, like, it is important to bring this stuff up. I'm just not the person to do it. I'm just not the person to do it, because, like, I just get tired of it.
I need Char to teach me her jujitsu. Jujitsu. What?
Like jutsu.
Jujitsu.
But,
Oh.
yeah, like, it's just, I get so tired of it. It's like, it's exhausting to go through this shit all the fucking time. No, later, banana.
Later, banana.
But yeah, like, I know this from experience as well. Like, there's a reason why I do things like this, right? From, again, my Tumblr days, because all things lead back to my Tumblr days, right?
Yeah, you've been mentioning those a lot lately.
I have been, because it's been on my mind lately with all this shit, right? It's been on my mind so much. But yeah, because back in those days, right, of being on Tumblr, you kind of had to have a social cause that you had. I never really fully committed, to be fair, right? Because even back then, I felt like, oh, this is oh, no. But I was pretty borderline of it, right? And it's like, you had to, you know, you basically had to have your cause, and you had to kind of just go with it. In the same way that you see a lot of these people go nowadays with you know, the socialist Marxists, BLM, Palestine, like all this shit, where you see them just go full retard with it, right? Like, whatever goodwill they had to begin with is just fucking gone.
Yeah.
Because they fed into it, right? Even back then, even if it was in way more minor doses than you see nowadays, that's what was expected of you. And like the minor parts of that I had at the time, right? And again, I never went like into the BLM stuff. I never went into like anything super fucking insane. Keep in mind, right? I never went to protests. I never did that. But it was the idea of it. It was like, yeah, you have to be constantly thinking of it. You have to be like, you know, ready to fight the power, like all that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was stuff like the gay rights stuff, right? You're constantly thinking about it. You're not allowed to not think about it. It's just so tiring. It's so tiring, and it just kind of makes you go, man, what's the fucking point?
No wonder they're all grumpy.
No, that's exactly why they're all grumpy, because they're literally, like, because of the way they are, and in the groups that they're in, they're not really allowed to think of anything else. No fun allowed. You have to be thinking of this basically all the time. It's exhausting. It's so fucking tiring, and I never want to be like that ever again. I never want to be in that position ever again, where this is all I can think about. This is all I have, because it's not worth it. It's not living. It's just barely existing at that point, and you are just miserable all the time, and I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Between the two of us, I'm probably the one who's probably strayed the least from my background,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, you would fucking hate me. If you met that version of me back then, you would fucking hate
Even in my current form, I would probably not.
You
like
would. Like, even now, right? As like mellowed out as you are now, you would absolutely have loathed me. And that goes for a lot of the people that are watching as well, right? You would not have liked me. I would have been
Little insufferable.
Yeah, I would have been just this obnoxious fucking know-it-all. And that just obviously had no idea how shit worked. No idea how the world, like, was really. Like, I was one of those people that was like, yeah, Islam is a religion of peace. I was one of those fucking retards. It's not. It's not. It's really not.
Here's the crazy thing, right? Like I said, I've strayed the least from it because I came from basically the other side of it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you didn't have as far to go, really.
I didn't. However, there's one part I did go far on, which is like the crazy part, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the crazy part. It's just.
But it's like I've stuck with most of my stuff, like most of my whole life, like because I feel both strongly and I feel like there's enough evidence to back that
Yeah.
claims.
And that's not to say like I've changed a crazy amount in that sense of it, right? But it's like in the basic things of like, and I don't think too much, like really. Like the basic things of just like what, be nice to people, be polite.
I do like stepping away, like,
but like
doing politics all the time is very it can be exhausting. It can be frustrating because people are slow to change their opinions.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so hard to change people's opinions.
Yeah, and it's just wait, are we supposed to like you now?
Hey, well, potato. I see you there.
Oh man, but I mean, no, but yes, but you would hate me even more. How about that? But it's just, yeah, like I think the work that Kirsha and people like Kirsha do is really fucking important. It's just not for me.
Not for you to do.
It's just not for me because it's just I know better for myself. I know it's not worth my mental health or me declining in any way. Yeah. It's a really good piece of hurting over there. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Even when you show people the truth, it is so hard to, like, you literally put it in front of their faces and they go,
yeah, no, it's not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe you. And it's...
Yeah, and I can tell you that from experience. It's as one of these you know, people in the past, it's like, even if you see it in front of you, it's very hard to change. But even in saying that, it's like, I was never fully there, keep in mind. Like, I saw like a BLM form, basically, on Tumblr. Holy fuck, that's how old I am. Like, I saw that shit form, right? Like, the first protests and all that, and even back then, I'm like, I am not going to touch that. This isn't my problem. This is not, no. No. So, like, I had at least some kind of, like, you know, some kind of instinct, I guess, of like,
Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, if you showed me, like, I don't know, anything about, say, gender stuff back then that would have gone against, like, what I truly believed and what I had been fed, I wouldn't have believed it. I would not have fucking believed it, because that's just... It's hard. It's hard to change people's beliefs so quickly on things that they are just so all in on.
Especially if it's an emotional thing.
Exactly.
Especially if you got them emotional about it, which is honestly a big part of it, is like, if they're emotional on it, it's hard. It's really hard. Because humans are not logical when they get emotional. And a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people feed that side of things. That's why do you think a lot of things are feed their emotions, make them feel about it, make them empathetic. It's the best way of communicating to people to change their minds, make them feel emotional.
It's truly the best way to get through to people, which is just really fucked, but it's the truth.
It's a mental manipulation. At the end of the day, it's all mental manipulation.
It is.
Try to get people to
and this is why I get so fucking tired of it, because it's just,
You don't like doing that.
I don't like doing that, because I don't like being mentally manipulated, and I don't like having to pass through it, either. Like, it's just so tiresome. It's so fucking tiresome, and I'll leave it to the people that do it better than I do. You know? Just, there's people better suited for it. I'm not one of them.
Alright.
But yeah, we should
probably wrap up.
Wrap this up. It's done.
It is almost 11.
It is. Oh my god, it is, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Yeah, definitely time to go to bed. Holy fuck. Yeah.
You've been watching that clock and forgetting that it's an hour behind.
No, I've been keeping it in mind, but it's kind of like
we've been talking.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
That's how abusive relationships are so hard to get away from. Yes.
Yep. I just don't like it when people logic their way into genuine hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah. It's oh god, yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
We should.
We're gonna wrap up.
Wrap up.
Yeah.
I think honestly, what we came up with this was like a little bit like somber, more hard lined than our normal ones, but
yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm still hopeful. That people can look forward and catch this and look at this and go, this is undermining. This is
yeah. This is not right. This is weird.
Right. This is weird.
This is fucking weird to be aiming this at children. Like that's my thing with a lot of this. It's just don't. Like, goodbye group, but just I don't. It's one thing to aim this at adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it when they aim for the children.
No.
And that's with anything. Like, just leave them the fuck out of it. Like, they're kids. And the thing that really struck me is of, like, why I don't think it's gonna really stick with the kids either, is that, all those interactive things, right? Oh, yeah, because second interactive thing, right? I said, communism bad, and
communism sucks.
Yeah, communism sucks, and I labeled myself as a male 0 to 6-year-old.
Yes, that was the funny part. That was very funny.
Yeah, because I was like, why do you need to know my age and gender? Why do you need to know this? So I just made myself the smartest male 0 to 6-year-old ever. Just said communism sucks, but yeah, a lot of the times though, when we saw kids actually interacting with that stuff though, right? And this is why I don't think it's going to stick around their minds that much. I don't think they're really going to absorb it in the way that they're hoping. Is because when it was asking for their fucking opinions, a lot of the time, right? They're just drawing on the machines. They weren't actually writing their opinions. Any opinions you saw going around there were from older people. But people that could actually write. And you could tell by the handwriting. I just don't see it. I don't.
I will say that the lumber thing story you told me afterwards.
Oh yeah.
That was like kind of a thing of like. It was interesting, right?
Yeah. Me going to the lumber place when I was like what 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, I feel sick going through here. This is weird, but that's because the the indoctrination of like, yeah, this is bad. And then thinking back on it, it's like, no, the guy that was just going like being really excited around the children, was just really excited to show off his job. He was proud. He was just proud, and I probably just took it the wrong way. I definitely took it the wrong way, but I'm pretty sure I was probably the only one that took it the wrong way. So, like, yeah, things do stick with kids.
Or influenceable, or whatever.
Like, things do stick with kids, but, that was more of a toured guide. That wasn't us reading stuff on a wall. I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
When it's a toured guide like that, yeah, that's gonna stick with a kid. If it's a museum experience like that, I can also tell you from experience of going to the local Perth Museum, right, as a kid, I absorbed the information that I was reading. I was just
None of
looking
the walls now.
No, I was just looking at the cool taxidermies. I just like taxidermies.
I like the cool robots.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
little fucking sciencey things.
yeah, like, as much as I don't like people aiming this shit towards kids, because I really fucking don't. I don't think these kids are gonna absorb the messages that they think they're sending to them. I think they're just gonna come away from it with, that was a cool robot I got to talk to. Oh, wasn't that seal robot really fuzzy?
Oh, what about that marble thing? That looked cool.
Yeah, like, this is the shit they're gonna come away with. Like, this is the experiences they're gonna have. They're not gonna remember. They're not going to remember, wow, should we be eating meat? Because why the fuck would they? That's not cool. That's not fun. That's not a cool taxidermy thing. That's not a cool robot. Why would they? It's just very weird. And that's why I don't think that museum is going to do its job very well. I don't think it has been, ever.
Yeah. It could very well not, like, no, well, but I think enough people will I hope for the future.
Yeah. I think
And
adults are going to take more away from that than the kids.
Speaking of the future, we have, literally tomorrow and the day after, and then I'm flying back to
Yeah.
the States.
Yeah, and then I'm the day after.
So, I think our next stream will be sometime next week, though.
Yeah.
Because we'll be doing, we'll figure it out. I have to
Yeah, you have to organize some people. You have to herd some cats.
herd some cats, but I think we're probably going to be doing, our first, actually joint stream.
Maybe. Yeah, we're thinking of it. It should
It's
be
consideration.
Yeah. We'll see if my internet can handle.
We'll see.
It
That is
really will.
always a factor.
Probably will be able to handle it.
You do have, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, see how that goes. This honestly, hell, you might even show up for some other.
Maybe,
of my
because
streams,
I
too,
have,
depending if you
yeah,
wake up.
because I have a week before I have to return to work, which I'm so happy about.
Mm.
I'm so sad it's now at this point. I'm like, oh, I'm so close to going back to work, but at the same time,
You've had 3 weeks with me so far.
I've had more time than I usually get, so I'm like, yeah. So how much
Are you
loot
sick
did you
of me
guys
yet?
get to bring back? No, I'm not sick of you. Are you sick of me? How much loot did you guys get to bring back? Not as much as you would think.
Not this time around.
No,
This time around we kind of.
have a
I didn't even get myself anything.
yeah, which is we need to fix that.
What are we gonna do though?
I don't know, but
Nothing that interested me this time.
I know, which is
most
just
of the stuff that we went to last time was there's a Monster Hunter store.
there was
The animate stuff was alright, but it wasn't anything I really.
I've
did
been
there.
buying stuff for myself, and I feel so bad because I've got this pile of stuff, and it's just where's Platy's stuff?
I don't have it.
Yeah,
I don't care. I'll be honest.
I've got
This
so
time
many
around, I haven't.
CDs.
What?
I have so many CDs.
You do have a lot of CDs. You did buy a lot of those.
Oh god, it's so many Americans use red mark now. Because of the it is because of the TikTok ban. It's oh god, that's a whole other can of worms that we're not gonna get into. We're ending the stream.
Yeah.
We're ending the stream before I can start.
I'll be probably doing. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know if I'll do a talking stream myself because that's just not my style.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Maybe I'll talk about my Japan trip with some images in a game of. I might start off with RuneScape again because I don't know how much closer I'm going to be finishing it off, but I am almost done with that game. I'm almost there. I'm probably going to play some more when we're done here. Because I don't sleep as long as you do.
No, you don't.
You need to get to sleep.
I do need to get to sleep.
We'll end the stream here.
Alright.
Have
Good night, guys.
Wonderful
Good
night, and we will see you soon.
Bullshit.
I'll be soon, very soon, with my next stream. So a few more days, and I'll be back home and streaming at my usual times again. So
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just be tweeting because that's what I do on very rare occasions. I don't do it often, honestly, but yeah.
What did you mean? 100K? What?
It's like confusing.
I'm confused, but we're ending. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a
Goodbye.
good night.
Good night.